Welcome, everybody. Episode number 4 of Midwest Archer. I am co-host Mike Tracy. Alongside me, we have Taylor Brissett.
And I'm Casey Liegeois.
And we have the man, the myth, the legend.
I don't know about that.
From Green Bay. Made the trek up north today. We really appreciate having you come in, and we are going to just run through your epic 2023 season from start to finish. And we're going to start with how me and you met.
Yeah.
So we did an archery shoot and got hooked up with one of our buddies, Bucky. And we were shooting, and it was me and my son were shooting. And then Bucky's like, yeah, you got to meet this guy, Casey. He's from Green Bay. He's a really good shit. And so he comes over and joins, and we started shooting. And then next thing you know, like-minded people just
hit it off really easy.
Yeah, it was natural. Kind of texted back and forth. And when you have the same interests and the same like-minded operation, hard working, love hunting, love archery, it just kind of just clicks for you.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a blast. That WCB shoot that was my first time down there, and I can't wait to go back again. It's really good.
Yeah, that was our first time down there too. We were him and Han going because it was so freaking hot.
It was scorching.
So we shot to about target 20 of 30. No alcohol on the course, which was horse shit to begin with. Absolutely bullshit.
No water either.
No water. Yeah, we talked about that on one of the podcasts. We got to water station, and there was one drip in there, and we had this other guy shooting with us that was older.
He looked like he was going to die.
Yeah, so he was near death. And we gave him the 2 drips of water that were left in the water cooler.
Yeah.
And then I think Bucky did sneak in 1 beer.
He had 2 beers in his pocket, and
yeah.
I took a couple sips of it.
I took a couple sips of Bucky's piss-warm pocket beer.
Keep us hydrated a little bit, you know?
So we got to 20, and we were soaking wet, and we were just like, fuck this. It's way too hot.
Let's go have a beer.
We
just skipped the rest of the targets, just walked right past them all.
Yeah.
Like, all right, guys, we talked to everybody. We passed the WCB crew, and we were like, we're going to drink. Screw this.
Yeah, we're like, time out. Where are you guys? Are you cutting? Yeah, all the way to the end, and we'll see you back there. We're going to have a couple beers.
Yeah, it was a good time. And it actually cooled down once the sun went down behind the trees and stuff for the fun shoots that they have, which was an awesome time as well.
Yeah.
It cooled down quite a bit, which helped out a lot.
Yeah, that was the 100-yard shoot. And then, which I didn't do. I don't know. I did. You did.
Yeah. So, stupid me, I buy a new bow before I go down to that shoot. I'm a bow freak, so I do all my own work on my bow mechanic, all that crap.
There's your other half-brother freak right there.
Yeah, I know. I heard he works part-time at Lena Swamp Archery, so we got to talk later about that. But, yeah, so I bought this new bow. So I had a Phase 4, big Matthews fan. I didn't shoot Matthews forever. I actually grew up with Hoyt. My grandfather is the one that got me into hunting. He was staff shooter for Hoyt for like 15 years on a pro staff, so he'd get free bow every year and hand me down when I was a kid. You know, he started me out on a recurve, did that. So I was a huge Hoyt fan for a long time. And then there was a group called Athens Archery. It was a great bow company that kind of went bankrupt because of, or they just closed shop because of Bowtech with some patent infringements.
Yeah.
Quote unquote patent infringements, which other bow companies are kind of running into now. But they just didn't have the money to fight it in big court. But anyways, I shot on their pro staff for a couple of years. I shot a lot of tournaments and did stuff like that. And I just recently went over to Matthews. I think I got when the V3 came out.
Yep.
I got the V3, and then I bought the V3X, and then I went to, what was it?
Then
V3?
the phase. Yep, V3, V3X,
V3X, and then the Phase 4. I got the Phase 4, and then I didn't get the first lift. And then I just bought the recent lift. So, but my Phase 4 is shooting dimes. It was awesome. And then I really liked that you could move to 80-pound mods on the new Matthews. So that's kind of why I wanted to go to that, because I was shooting 75-pound mods, which honestly, with the technology they have in the bows nowadays, that jump is not that much. Like if you can pull back 75 pounds, you can pull back 80. It's super simple, especially if you have that muscle memory. Right. And then I was a huge Spot Hog fan. And then I switched to the new UV sight, so I wanted to try that out. So I got this bow right before the shoot, and I thought I built brand new arrows. So I'm on the Easton staff. I might have to edit this out, but I bought Victory arrows, the extreme velocity, just for long distance shooting because they're super light. And I built them to like $399, so they're just shy of 400 grains, and I could shoot 150 yards with my bow without hitting my sight, which was awesome. And so I'm like, I thought I was shooting good, but then when I brought it out there, I was shooting low on everything. During that whole course, I was shooting low, and I'm like, this is so weird for me to do it. And so when I shot that 100-yard target, I moved it, I think it was like 100 yards on the head, and I moved it to like 105 yards, and I just shot low of it. I didn't move it enough, you know, and it just hit the very bottom end of it. But yeah, that again, going off a tangent, like I told you I was going to.
No, that's all right.
Yeah, that shoot was absolutely awesome. I actually saw on the first, I think it was the first podcast, you were wearing a Beast Mode archery shirt. Is that right?
Yep.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was.
Have you shot that?
Yep. Yeah, I've gone to the Mount Horeb. I didn't do the actual like endurance.
Yeah, I don't either. I do the King of the Hill.
Yep, King of the Hill.
I've done that for the last 2 years.
Okay, I must have been there probably 2 years ago. Were you there the whole weekend?
Yeah, I parked my big fifth wheel camper right up on top.
Okay, so
party spot.
We during the giveaway, did you get into like the Rocky Mountain Elk giveaway?
Yeah.
And I think they gave away like 9 V3Xs and then Phase 4. And a bunch of guys were at a wedding that had won off these tickets. And then it was present to win, and then everyone was like, nah, fuck those guys.
Draw again.
But like they all knew the owner of the guy that was putting it on. Right. And they called him up, and they came back and collected their prizes. Were you there for that one? Or
no, you have to be present to win.
Yeah.
I thought it says you do not need to be present to win. Dude, I drop a couple $100 on that raffle every single year, and I don't think they ever showed up to one.
Haven't won yet.
Yeah.
They probably called your name 4 times.
I'm sure they have, because I spend a crap ton of it's $100 a ticket. I probably buy 3 or 4 of them every year.
Yeah.
Because your odds of winning are really good.
Oh, yeah.
I think they only sell like 100 tickets. Or
yeah, 200 tickets, and they give a crap ton of prizes. Oh. I wish I would have known.
And you've never won nothing?
No, because I thought...
Because you're never present.
Well, now I know for next year.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's actually after going to like TAC and all these other bigger shoots. I mean, I had just as much fun at Beast Mode for it being like essentially a baby TAC.
Yeah,
is what they called it.
And Brian does such a good job of putting that on and putting all the work into putting the courses in. And
honestly, he does so many more like fun shoots to where head-to-heads, 20, 30, 40, you shoot at the clay pigeons. Everyone puts $20 in a pot, and then top 3 get prizes, or top guy takes 50%. And, you know, I actually really enjoyed all of that more than going to TACs. And
so the guys that I actually go with have been going ever since he started.
Okay.
And they're considered, Brian considered as the party group. Now I guess I'm part of that now. But anyways, on Friday night, after we show up on Friday, we shoot our course at like 2:00.
Yep.
And then we go get lunch at the lodge there. Pound of beers, drinks, mixed drinks, whatever. And then we go back out on the course. We shoot the clay pigeon shoot. And, But then once it starts getting before dark, our group, before I was even there, started like throwing dollars on the ground. Okay, let's hit that eyeball at 80 yards, or hang a beer can from the antler. And then all of a sudden you get a huge crowd watching you, right?
Yep.
So then the bad thing is that you get these sober guys to show up, and they want to be part of it, and then they go throw their money in. I'm like, well, then they win, and it's like, I personally don't give a shit, but it's like the other guys in the group are like, oh, that's not fair. We're drinking all day, and you guys are not sober and coming in here and licking us up, but so they kind of started that. So that's why Brian started doing more of these special shoots and stuff, because
it's bringing all the people out just to have fun, basically, more than running through and shooting 30 standard targets. It's getting ready or doing weird stuff like that.
And it's kind of like how we met. It's all like-minded people that like to have a good time and shoot their bows. And
what would we shoot for? Well, we probably shot for 2 hours, and then we just
stood around for another 2-3 hours.
Oh yeah, for sure. We drank. We had lots of. You had a
Bushlight Lime.
Bushlight Lime. That was my first one. He's like, "You want a Bushlight Lime?" I'm like, "Nah, not quite yet." And then about 2 hours later, I'm like, "Hey, you got any of that Bushlight Lime? Because I'm so freaking thirsty. I don't give a shit what it is."
Yeah.
And then we drank all that, and then we went back, and then we went out that night to the bar.
Yeah,
for the after party.
We had dinner at the depot, and then we hung around there.
Yep, we went to the after party out there and we hung out there and kind of BS, and we got up the next morning and then we kind of talked that night, and before we all headed back, we just went and hooked up, had breakfast in the morning, and sat around and bullshitted again for another couple hours at this world famous, I don't remember what the name it was, but
some Chinese lady.
She was, we sit down and everybody comes in there and everybody's getting their picture taken with her, and we're all looking around like, what the frick is going on here?
Apparently she's like TikTok famous or something.
Yeah, big time. Like a couple trillion followers, not even kidding you. Everybody that came in there went right to her, and she had coffee mugs and
all the stuff.
Placemats, yeah. And then everybody comes in there, I take her picture with her, and she spent, that's all she did.
But the food was bomb. Like, it was amazing.
The freaking breakfast was...
It's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Middle of nowhere. It was just lights out.
Coffee was good. Yeah.
But yeah, so touching back on base with you, well, what do you do for a job when you're to pay for your expensive hunting habits?
Well, I currently work at a mechanical contractor in Green Bay, Wrightstown, De Pere area, Tweed Gear Mechanical. I've been there for 18 years now. Union sheet metal worker by trade, welder and fabricator. I've been in the office for probably 2 or 3 years now, doing estimating for like our food and beverage industry, all the custom stainless work and stuff like that. So I do that, and then I also own, with another buddy of mine, we own a concrete curbing company. So we do that part time.
Fun money.
That's my fun money.
Yep. That's the hunt and slush fund.
Yeah.
That's the 3 bows. How can you afford your 3 bows? That's it.
Yeah. Hopefully my wife doesn't listen to this. She doesn't even know I buy a new bow every year.
Trust me, she probably ain't listening to this.
Yeah, probably not. No, she's like, oh, she can't even tell the difference. I could change color and whatever. She doesn't know.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I just tell her. I'm on 3 bows this year.
Yeah, well, you work at a bow shop that you don't collect a check. So you're probably in the hole. So you probably have to work.
Currently in the hole.
Yeah.
Just wait, one more bowl.
Yeah, one more boat, I'm done. One more boat, I'm done.
November.
Yep.
November.
Then you're going to be back to even?
No, I don't know. I don't know where I'll stand. November. Yeah, I'm just kind of like a.
He's a this
gear,
up and down, up and down.
Yeah, I like gear, man.
I like tinkering. I like gear. Me and my wife used to. I mean, God willing, came a long way since we got married. Like when we first got married, I used to hide a lot of shit from her, and because I grew up in a pretty poor family. My mom raised us 3 kids by herself, so I didn't have any money growing up. I was like excited to get a new pair of shoes from St. Vinny's. Like that's where we were at. So me busting my butt at a young age, working construction, started making really good money. Like I want to live a little bit. I'm going to have some fun and buy whatever I want. Right? If I have the money to do it, I'm going to do it. So after we got married, I used to spend a crap ton on hunting gear. Like I get hooked up with this company, for example, like Hawk Hunting.
Yep. When
they first came out, when Scott first started the company, before they even hit the market, I reached out to him. I'm like, dude, this is going to blow up the market. Like your bow hangers, your tree stands are way better than anything that's going to hit the market. I want to be a part of it. Like, let me join your team. I'll help you. And he's like, sure, absolutely. So I joined his team. I probably bought, I don't even remember, probably $2,000 with a discount of tree stands, bow hangers, everything. I had 6 of everything. I just did it because I was like, this is the best stuff. Like, I love it. I actually got to go to the ATA show with them. I forgot what year, 2016, I think they started, 17, 18. No, that would have been 2000, I don't know, 2012. But so I went to ATA show, and it was funny because they came out with these new bow hangers and these awesome stands, and Muddy basically somebody leaked something, and it came out with. We were at the ATA show, and we were making fun of them. We were like, "Look at this crap! They copied us," And then a couple of years down the line, GSA or whatever that company is called, GSM, bought Hawk out anyways, and owns it now. But just stuff like that. I used to spend a crap ton of money and not tell her about it, and then she found out later and was pissed off because I spent a bunch of money without telling her.
Yeah, you think it's easier to hide it and then ask for forgiveness later. And actually, it's easier if you just say, hey, I want to go and spend $750 on this camera. Is that okay? And then she's like, do you really need it? And I'm like, yeah. And then she's like, all right.
One thing I learned is just to be honest up front and just tell them what you're doing, because it's just going to create a world of hurt later in life.
Oh, yeah. there's a bit of an age gap here, so I'm like much younger in my relationship.
Listen to what we are telling you.
You were probably where I was, so I'm just telling you.
No, not anymore. But I can't tell you the amount of times where, I don't want because my wife gets the notification like on her phone when the checking account is used.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right.
Yeah, you got to get rid of that shit.
So
I was always doing I got this credit card here.
Yeah.
So whoop.
Yeah.
Swipe that. No, I don't do that anymore because that's so dumb.
Yeah, how much is that here?
Well, I didn't have this. I'll pay 19% interest.
with plastic.
Yep.
With plastic, which is the dumbest thing
100%.
I am so glad that finally I realized.
Yep.
But one thing I will be honest with you and tell you in an early relationship is 100% you got to have a joint account, right?
Yep.
But you should each have your own individual accounts too.
Yep.
So she can use that money to spend on whatever she wants, and you can use that money to spend on whatever you want. So that's what we do, and it works great.
Yep.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, then it's like, oh, well, this is where this came from, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm glad that I definitely did that.
Yeah.
Have done that quite a bit early on in my...
Well, your wife's a hunter too, though, so that helps a little
That
bit.
does help a little bit. My wife is way on the other end of the spectrum. She likes eating it, and that's about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Luckily, she doesn't get into the whole gear thing, but well.
Are you a gear snob too? Like
not a
suits
snob.
and...
Not a snob, but...
You like good stuff.
I like good stuff, and I like new stuff.
Yeah, so do I.
I get bored. Not that I get bored, but I get excited to get new stuff.
And I'm not gonna lie, like a lot of people give shit on Sitka and Kuiu and First Light and whatever and all that other stuff. But you spend the money, it is good quality shit.
Hands down.
Hands down, there's a big difference.
If I'm out in the tree and you hunt down south where it's open and you say there's no wind and it's a 10 mile an hour, how it is in Kansas, in Iowa, and you're sitting in the tree and it's windy, I'm telling you right now, from 25 years of hunting down there, Sitka is the shit.
Oh yeah.
You can make fun of me all you want, prove by this, by that. I don't give a shit because when I'm hunting, I want to be warm.
Yep.
Nothing sucks worse than sitting in a tree stand and you're there for 2 hours and you're shivering.
Right. And absolutely. You can kill a big buck in blue jeans and a flannel.
Oh yeah.
Oh, 100%.
You can.
Shackers do it all the time.
But I want to be comfortable.
Yeah.
And whether that was Kuiu, First Light, Sitka was just the one that offered the pro staff discount.
Yep.
And the best program for me.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's who I'm rocking with. As long as they keep that up.
It's funny, I don't wear Sitka for hunting, but I have a shit ton of Sitka
Really?
gear. Just for I got the really nice vest. I got some sweatshirts I wear.
Sweatshirts.
They make
pants.
such nice apparel.
Oh, yeah.
Like everyday apparel.
And it's comfortable. It's warm. Like I got this. I don't even know what brand. Or I know it's Sitka, but I don't know like what model number or name it is. But it's like a thin, but heavy duty vest that I could wear with like a long sleeve shirt in winter, and I'd be warm as shit.
Yep.
Like it just keeps your core body super warm, and it's unreal.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, you can talk shit about it all you want, but
Yeah, you're gonna have the haters be haters, and
Yeah. There's
I like it, and
Yeah,
it didn't come out. It didn't come out of your checkbook, so
just tell them to go pound sand.
yeah, right. I'm the one who's wearing it.
You're just pissed off that you can't afford it.
That's exactly right.
You know. But
Yeah, because when they just came out at the end of last year, they came out with their brand new color, the dark green and everything. So I have all the gray. I have everything. So then the green came out. I'm like,
I'll buy all the gray off of you. There you go.
I was watching that release video when they released the new pattern with my wife, and she just looked at me and said, "Absolutely not." Because
like, what?
I got
What?
Because
He already had his phone on.
I was already logging into Sitka.
Yeah.
Your tongue's hanging out. There's a puddle of drool on the floor and the carpet.
And she's like, "You have the everything sub-alpine and everything elevated too." She's like, "When it's green, wear that stuff. When it's gray, wear that stuff."
Yep.
So I've been a good boy. I didn't order any of the new stuff yet.
I was going to say.
Mine's all in the packages downstairs in the basement.
I do need a new pack though, and I've been looking at that tool bucket.
Yep, I got to get a new pack too because mine is just. I've had the same backpack for a while, and it's getting old. It's getting wore out.
That is such a nice pack to hang in the tree. I don't know if do you have the tool bucket or is it the tool bucket or?
It's called the tool. So I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's freaking nice.
It like zips all the way down so that you can like
fold it wide open.
Fold it open,
Yep.
and you have access to all the inside pockets.
Pretty slick.
I would have bought that, but I bought podcast equipment instead. So
and just like anything else, you get what you pay for.
Yeah, 100%.
If you bitch about it that it's too expensive, and then you go to Walmart and you buy 37 of them to the one that somebody spent a little bit more money on, by the end of the day,
socks is a good example.
Yeah,
Dude,
for sure.
Good pair of socks.
Yeah,
yep.
Goes a long way.
Buy
down.
once, cry once.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
That's good.
So getting back to your 2023, let's give us a rundown of what you had in mind and in store for your 2023. Like, where were you going?
Yeah.
In start us off state by state.
I'll give you a little backstory to that too. So I was hunting. I've hunted out of state many times before I went to Kansas. Was never really successful. Had a lot of close encounters. I hunted Indiana, Minnesota. I shot a small buck in Minnesota, Michigan, and I don't think there's any other place. But then I went to Kansas for the first time. I joined this lease program that you pay a membership fee for the year, and they give you access to all this land.
Yep.
You get a login, do all that stuff. So my first year, I went down to Kansas, and first time I ever went there, it was the first property I went to. I went shed hunting earlier that year, and that's where I found that shed that I was telling you about.
Yep.
Big 3-point side, 4-point side with a big drop tine. So I hunted that property first. My very second sit, I had this. I'm sitting on the edge of this field using a decoy. First time I ever used decoy in my life, and it was windy, and I'm facing north, and this creek line behind me, kind of a thicket, it bottlenecks. It's a creek line, a field's on the other side of the creek. I'm facing north, which is a cut cornfield, and on the other side of that is a standing cornfield where the neighbor fence is probably like 150 yards away. And straight behind me, it's like a thicket on the side of a ridge that this creek kind of bottlenecks around, and it's all really thick bedding area in there. And it was getting closer. It was in the evening. It was getting closer to dark, and I'm like, it calmed down for a second, and I'm like, I'm gonna smack these. Everybody says Kansas you can rattle and all this other stuff. Never experienced a good rattling or grunting sequence in Wisconsin or any other state before, and I don't even know what year this was. Maybe 2018 or something like that. But anyways, I smacked the antlers together, and I'm sitting there facing this cornfield, and all of a sudden I hear something behind me, and I hunt saddle, and we'll get more onto that later. So I'm a big saddle hunter. Huge saddle hunter.
Sorry, you looked like a saddle guy.
Yeah, and I'll convince you otherwise by the end of this podcast. But
buy me a saddle and I'll try it.
I'll give you mine. And
is it a 2-man?
Yeah, you sit on my lap.
Hey, if you're going to Kansas, I'll follow you.
And all of a sudden I heard something. I turn around, and it's getting kind of dusk where you can still see pretty far, but it's a little hazy kind of time, you know. And I see this body, and I'm like, dude, that's a buck, and he's hitting trees and just thrashing them and scraping the ground. And I pull up my binos, and I'm like, I don't even know what it is. And my first time knowing, I'm like, he's a shooter for sure. And he's working his way right towards me, and I'm completely turned around in my saddle, facing him, and my decoy's in the field behind me. And he works his way towards me, and there's a big, huge oak tree about 15 yards from me. And he's either gonna take this trail right down in front of me, or right behind me, I should say, towards the creek that's 10 yards away, or he's going to go around this big oak tree and see my decoy out in the field and come out to that. So I'm just sitting, I'm videotaping this. I got a Tacticam. So I used to be with, little tangent, I used to be with Tacticam when they had just the action cameras and not the trail cameras. So I was really big into those. So I had that. Plus I had a GoPro going too, but I don't know if I turned that on or not. I don't think I did. So I just had my Tacticam going. And sure shit, this freaking buck comes on this side of the big oak tree, 10 yards away, picture perfect. And my wind is coming out of the northwest. So it's like blowing this way, and he was going to hit it pretty soon, right? So I freaking drew back when he was behind that oak tree. He steps out. He's walking. Man, I probably shouldn't have stopped him, but I did. Stopped him, let the arrow fly. Arrow went right through him. He took off, went 10 yards and stopped and just stood there. And at this point, I think I'm a pretty experienced hunter. I can tell how a deer reacts and what's going on. I'm like, that fucker's not going down. Like, what happened? I'm looking at my arrow. I can see my arrow in the ground full of blood. And I'm like, dude, that's a dead deer. Why isn't he going down? All of a sudden, he starts walking really slow. I'm like, what the hell? So I grab another arrow, knock it, and he starts walking straight away. And I range him. He's at 45 yards. And my dumbass should have raised my sight a little bit, but I just held my 40-yard pin right on his ass. I just want to get another arrow.
Yeah, right, hit him.
Yeah.
Right, because I knew he's hurt. I freaking let it fly, goes right between his freaking, right past his sack. Just missed it, right underneath him. And he takes off running, and then he stops in this opening about 100 yards away. And now this time it's getting pretty hazy out. So I bring my binos up, I'm looking. I can see a dark spot on the side that I hit him. And he's sitting there going like this. And I'm like, oh, shit.
He's going to go tip over.
I'm like, he's going to tip over. And all of a sudden he just slowly walks away. I'm like, what the hell? So I call my wife up, call my buddy. She's with a big group of friends at a party for doing something at a bar. I call him up. I'm like, dude, I just smoked a big one. He's big.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, that's freaking. And my buddies are there are big hunters too. So they're freaking out. They're like, oh, that's awesome, you know. And I'm like, I get down. I go look at my arrow. My arrow is covered in blood, dark red blood. So I'm like, it's my first instincts when I saw how he reacted. I'm like, it's a one lung liver hit.
Yep.
That's my intention. I'm like, it's one, and I'm down in Kansas by myself, mind you. One long liver hit. So arrow's full of blood. I'm like, that's good. No gut smell, little bit of bubbles. Walked to the first spot that he stopped. I found a puddle of blood like this with a little bit of bubbles in it. Like, okay, I'm not gonna move it anymore. I'm gonna back out and wait until morning. Let him sit. He's gonna go bet 100 yards and die.
Yep.
You know, I'm coming back in the morning. So I come back in the morning. I'm sleepless night, right?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry to go on a tangent but this is a good backstory. And I come back in the morning and I track him all the way to that spot where I saw him kind of staggering there.
Yep.
And I found a little tiny speck of blood. And I probably walked another 50 yards and like did circles. Never found another speck of blood. I'm like, where the fuck? And there's a creek right there too. So I'm like, maybe dove in the creek. You know, I'm looking and there's barely any water in it. It's not a lot of water. And I'm looking around. And I'm like, I don't know. I called my buddy up and I'm like, I never called a dog up before, but I'm like, I'm down here in Kansas. I'm like, I'm pretty sure a dog should be able to find this deer. Right. It's a dead deer. Like I guarantee I one lung liver hit it. There's no way I didn't. There's no, even if I just liver hit it, you know. And from the video footage with those Tacticams, I don't care when anybody says it still vibrates a little bit. You do have to hold on your bow a little bit tighter than I like to. Mm-hmm. And I didn't, so it did shake a little bit. So it's hard. I shoot light and knock so you can see it. Yep. But it was kind of hard to see. It did look like he was quartering towards me, like more than I thought. And I did hit a little bit back. So it's definitely, I pulled it up on my computer. Definitely thought it was like a one lung liver hit. So I called the dog up. Went on their Dog Tracking Association website. Closest guy was 2 hours away.
And what year was this?
This was in 2018, maybe.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yep.
19 maybe. And it's pre-COVID. So I called him up and he was 2 hours away and he's like, yeah, I can be up there. He was like, it's a $200 drop fee. And then if you want to give a bonus if a dog
tip finds
or
whatever,
it, yep, you can do it. I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, I sent him the video of it, sent him the arrow, everything. He's like, that's a dead deer. We're going to find it. I need a bloodhound. So he gets there, drops the dog on it, searched for 3 fucking hours, never found a bed, never found a drop of blood.
Really?
And then I'm like, and he's like, we're not going to find, I don't know what happened, blah, blah, blah. So he left for another 3 hours. This is the next day, right? So for another 3 hours, that little bottleneck of beddage shit that I was telling you, those thick slashings, for 3 hours, I grid searched back and forth every 5 yards just to find a speck of blood or a bed or anything. Something. Never found nothing. So I'm fucking like down in the dumps, No,
that's the worst feeling in the world.
Second day, that was my third day there now. Wasted a whole day of not hunting. And then I spent another 2 days on that property waiting to see if I heard coyotes, crows, anything. And then I'm like, well, screw this. I'm going to go hunt a different property. went hunted a different property. First time sitting there, put up a decoy on a small little cornfield that was surrounded by bottlenecks and surrounded by other big fields. First sit, I'm freaking grunting and rattling, and all of a sudden I hear thrashing out of the field right in front of me. I could almost shoot right across this field. 2 does pop out, and a freaking beautiful 10-pointer pops out. He was really tight, probably 12 inches wide, but he was like maybe 12, 13 inches tall. Busted out, old buck, big, bristled up, saw my decoy, did the whole video thing. Bristled up, came right, fucking circled right there. I was sitting there, drew my bow back, and I'm like, I don't want to shoot it. I feel like I could get a bigger one, because the one I just hit, I know is bigger than that.
How big do you think that one was that you hit?
That one, I don't know if I have pictures on my phone anymore, but he was a mainframe 5-pointer or 5 points on the right side, perfect, typical. This side, or no, take that back. The left side was a mainframe 5. This side had like 6-7 inch bases. It was gnarly. It came out with a big fork and had a double main beam coming out. No. Just a gnarly buck. It wasn't scoreable wise. It probably wasn't huge, but it was a big gnarly buck. It looked cool. So this tight 10 that if I would have shot it, it probably was big, kind of like your situation where you walk up to it and it's bigger than what you thought because the body was so big.
Yeah.
I didn't shoot that buck, and I kicked myself in the butt for not doing that. Fast forward to the end of my hunt, I go home, and that's the first time I got hooked up with that guy he at the time lived in Florida with his wife, and now they live in Iowa. But they were coming when I was leaving. And he said at the end of their hunt, they were hunting the south side of that property. So I was on the very north side of that property when I shot that deer. They were on the south end of that property, and he smelled something rancid. So he jumped down in the creek, followed the creek down on the neighbor's property, and he's like, I don't know, he wasn't that old, but he was, he said he was super tired, hot, and dehydrated, and there's a big steep cliff, and there was kind of like a dike that came out off of the field, and he was like, I guarantee your buck is dead up there. He called me when I was at home, and he's like, I guarantee that's where your deer is dead. And I should have went down there right away. It's a 13-hour drive, but I should have just went down there and looked. I'm like, well, I'm going to be down there in spring. I'll go, for shutdown, I'll go there. If it's laying there, I'll grab it and take the horns or call the DNR or whatever you have to do.
Yep.
So I did that. I waited until spring. Shouldn't have did that because I went there. That farmer burnt the whole edge of the field, and all there was a skeleton there. And I'm like, I guarantee that was my buck. Never had a chance. So,
what about the antlers?
Nothing. Everything was gone. The head was gone. Everything else was there. So I'm like, the farmer found it when he was burning it and kept it.
Kept the horns.
I should have went and knocked on his door and showed him video and said, hey, could I buy this off you? That would have been kind of cool just to have it. But
yeah, right.
Because I was like, there's no way that deer didn't die shooting that,
I have a similar situation of something like that where it was I was in Missouri last season, and I shot a hammer, and I kind of took some time off from filming. So I didn't film any of it. So I can't even tell you what exactly it was, but it came in, worked right in, straight on, turned to the left, and as soon as he turned behind this big oak, I drew back, he stepped out, let one rip, and I was like, yep, perfect. Right then, watched it go right in. And then same thing, nothing. After 100 yards or so, no blood. But he ran off, so I didn't see as to what you did. And then I looked and looked and looked for a couple days, and then we got a text message from the landowner that the neighbor found a deer, but then we never got any pictures, wouldn't show us anything.
That's when know it's usually pretty good when the neighbor keeps it.
For sure.
And same thing. I leased the same property again this year, so I kind of think maybe I should just go knock on their door and
go ask them about
it. Because my biggest buck by far.
Yeah, especially when it's a situation like that. That's.
And if you didn't even kill it, what the hell are you going to do with it on the wall? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
My buddies came over. Oh, where'd you get that deer? Oh, somebody else shot it, and
I found it on my property.
Yeah,
I found it dead on my property.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense. So with that hunt, that pretty much hooked you.
Yeah, it hooked me, but it also man, I thought it was like a drop in a hat to go down to Kansas. Obviously, hunting's not. And rewind before that, in 2015, I went down to Missouri. I forgot to tell you that. Hunted public land. shot a really 2 miles back. Me and my buddy went back to got poison oak super bad.
Yeah.
I can relate to that.
But I shot a buck at like 60 yards in this open area and one lunged him, shoulder punch him, blood everywhere, bubbles everywhere. We let him go overnight, go back, never found him. I guess there's so many coyotes down there. I'm guessing the coyotes just took them off. One lung, they can run forever, right?
Yep.
Never found it. Went to an open or cut bean field, never found it. So my strikeouts out of state have been pretty brutal to me because that was a big one too. So I was down in the dumps. I'm like, dude, I'm a better hunter than this. Like, what's going on? So I shot that one, didn't shoot anything that year. I think it was another year I went down there, had some opportunities, never had a shot opportunity. And then, it might have been 2 years in a row. So it was like 2 or 3 years in a row where I didn't shoot anything in Kansas. So I'm like down in the dumps, and then come 2023 season, my son is 10 or 11 at the time. So I applied for him to get a tag, to get a use tag. And I already knew that I was going to be drawing Iowa in 2023 because I had 6 points. I'm like, I'm going to draw Iowa. And I'm still in this program, the leasing program, right? So I'm going to have really good land that's unpressured to hunt. And so that was my main focus was Iowa. But I was like, if I'm going to apply for my son to get a youth tag, I'm also just apply to get a tag too, just in case. So if he's down there and we go back for late gun season, I can bring my bow and I can hunt with my bow too.
And you never know. You never want to walk away from a good spot either because somebody, if you don't take it that year, somebody else could pop in, take your spot, and then you kind of get bumped out of there.
Exactly.
So you never want to, it's easy to say, but.
And at that time I had my own personal lease too in Kansas. Yeah. So that's what we were hunting. And so I applied for my son to get a tag and he didn't draw, which was, everybody was like, oh, it's a given. Your kid's going to draw a tag. He didn't draw. So I was like, what the heck is going on? And then I drew a bow tag. So I'm like, fuck, because I already have an Iowa tag. So all my focus is going to be on Iowa. So fast forward to it was like, I think their season starts in September. Their first muzzleloader season starts like in the middle of September, right now, or in a couple of weeks here. And so I told my wife, I'm like, well, I'm going to go down and put another feeder up on our personal property or lease property that I share with a guy. And I'm going to put some more cameras up for my son, get everything ready. I'm like, but it is muzzleloader season, so I'm like, I'm gonna bring my bow just in case. I can work remotely, so I'm gonna, work for a couple days out of the hotel room and might sneak in a couple hunts.
Make it worth your time when you're down there. You might as well. You got the tag.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm like, or else I'm gonna be eating $500-$600 of tag, right? Because I'm not gonna go down there in November when I'm in Iowa. So I go down there, I get everything set up, and then I hunt that afternoon. Don't see a damn deer. Maybe saw a couple does. Didn't see much. So the next day, I hunt the same spot, saw a couple does again. Well, that evening, I decided to sneak into where my buddy that shares lease with me had a stand, and he shot a nice buck out of it previously. I'm sneaking in there, and I look to the north. So how this property is mapped out, it's 80 acres. It's long and narrow, and half of it on the east side is all beans, and the rest of it on the other side of the creek is all CRP field, pine trees, and a little bit of timber, but it's all bedding and stuff. It's freaking awesome. So I'm like 3/4 of the way up the property, I would say. The creek runs north and south, and then there's like a little branch that runs to the west to the neighbor's property, and their thicket of woods kind of ties right into that spot. Other than that, it's all fields around it, and then there's timber to the south across the road. And so I sneak in there, and I'm walking up to a stand, and I look to the north, and all of a sudden I'm like, what the fuck is that, a deer? I could just see a wide rack. And I'm like, looking, I'm like, holy, and all of a sudden he moved. I'm like, holy shit, that's a buck. And my wind is blowing right towards him. I'm like, shit. So I just sit on the ground. I do a couple grunts. I got an arrow knocked, right? He doesn't hear me. It's kind of windy. And then he just kind of walks to the north. I'm like, he probably smelled me or something. Or he never looked back. He didn't spook. He just walked.
Huh.
So I'm like, well, screw it. So I went and climbed up in the stand anyways, which maybe I shouldn't have, but I did. Saw a couple small bucks, saw a couple does, but I'm like, okay, I only got like a day or two left. Obviously, he's bedding up there or something. And mind you, on the neighboring property that we can hunt too, they cut the corn, which was really early. It was like September, and the corn was already cut. So I don't know why they cut it or what, but it was freshly cut. And I'm like, I'm going to get up in the morning at daybreak. I'm going to come in from the north side from the main road and just stalk in and find a spot to put my saddle up. So I daybreak, I'm stalking in along the fence line. All of a sudden I look up, and in that cornfield, there's a small little like 6 or 8 pointer, a doe and a fawn, and this 8 pointer that I ended up shooting. And he's not huge. Like I pulled my binos up. I'm like, man, that looks like a nice buck, especially a good Wisconsin buck, right? But I'm only down here for a couple. I don't care. Like I'm gonna be happy with a 120-inch deer.
Oh yeah.
And he's 18 inches wide, big frame, not heavy, but nice frame. And I'm like, shit, I'm gonna freaking try to sneak up on this, right? So I drop my pack, I jump the fence. I'm like belly crawling through this grass, and they're making their way to the thicket that I'm in. Kind of where I saw that buck.
They're heading back to bed.
Bedding. Yep. Exactly. And so I start sneaking up there, and that small buck is like almost right to the corner. And I pick up my head, and that small buck's just
eyeballing you.
Staring at me. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, and then I'm looking at this other buck, and he's hitting a licking branch on the edge of the field. No care in the world. And I'm like, oh, man. So I'm like, well, I got to make it like 5 more yards up here, and there's a little opening. I'm like, I can range him and hopefully get a shot. So I'm like, I belly crawl some more, and this little buck's just staring at me. Any minute he's gonna blow at me, you know. And
he's probably like, what the frick is that?
Yeah, exactly. And I get up and I range him. It's 85 yards.
Oh.
And I'm like, I've been practicing 100 yards all summer. I'm like, I can do this. I would never take that shot on a whitetail deer typically, but it was situational. Like people gave me shit for posting that because I was with a broadhead company at that time, and they posted it on their Facebook page.
Bomar?
No, I shoot these broadheads, dude.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Fucking love them. But anyways, this broadhead, Bomar stole the idea from him. So his wasn't a expandable. It was already a fixed blade that collapsed. It had the ball bearing and spring inside, but it collapsed and then sprung back open, but it was a fixed blade. So it was like, you know, and it did have bleeders on it too if you wanted them, or he just had regular ones. But he stole the fucking design from him. So
allegedly.
F you, Josh, but I like your broadheads. But anyways.
That's Kurt's buddy.
Is it really?
No.
I'm like, they fucking hate each other.
Yeah, he does. No. He talks a lot of fucking Bomar shit.
He does talk a lot of Bomar shit.
He's got one of the badasses videos when that freaking monkey gets shot in the chest.
Dude, that is a sick video.
That's
sick video. Just like screams and...
Yeah, it looks like a freaking...
kid. It looks weird.
It's
horrific.
It doesn't even look real.
No, it doesn't.
It's just like,
it's horrific.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Pause, rewind. I want to see that shit again.
Yeah, right. But anyways, those are the broadheads I was shooting. So, anyways, I sneak up, range them. Long story short, I draw back. This little buck staring at me the whole time. This buck didn't have any clue in the world. So that's what I was saying. Like I wouldn't take that shot. It was situational. I was wide open, cut field. There's not a lot of wind. The deer had no idea what was going on, or else I wouldn't take that shot. On a mule deer, 100% all day. Open field, I would shoot a mule deer 100 some yards.
It just goes to say that practice. You know, we touched on that in a couple of them. We owe it to that animal, whatever it is, to shoot all summer, to get prepped for that.
Yeah.
It's not like you had your bow in the closet all year, didn't touch it, decided, whole crap, next weekend I'm going to Kansas, pull it out, shoot 1 yard.
Which a lot of guys do.
Oh, yeah. That's what we talk about. Yeah. And pull out, shoot 1 at 20, money. We're ready to go. Those are the guys that comment, you can't be shooting at 85 yards. If you practice at 100, and 120, those 85 yards are like the 20-yard shots.
Yeah, and I tell everybody that because I shoot a lot, and I used to shoot competitively and all that stuff. And like, whatever you want to shoot a deer at, double that.
Yeah,
so if yours is like I'm like a 40-yard, 30-yard max guy, shoot at 80 yards.
Yep.
Because that 40 yards is gonna be a chip shot.
It's like 5.
Yes. So that 80 yards or 85 yards for me is a little exceeding for a whitetail for me, but I'm like, I felt comfortable with it.
Yep.
So I drew back, settled my pin. I didn't turn on I only had my Tacticam. I didn't turn on my Tacticam. I wish I did because I freaking sent that arrow and that light knock just soared and it smoked him right in the shoulder. And he mule kicked and he took off running. I'm like, holy shit, dude! I just smoked him. Like
you're looking for the video. You're like,
I literally stood up and threw my bowl in the field. I'm like, I'm just freaking out by myself.
Yeah.
Too bad there's somebody over my shoulder filming or somebody there to enjoy it, But it was awesome. But long story short, again, I tracked the deer, couldn't find blood, and I'm like, what the fuck? And my arrow was still in him, because it's stuck in his shoulder. It went right through his front shoulder and stuck in him. I knew I had enough penetration, and it was September, mind you, so it was hot, right? And I'm supposed to be working too. So I go back to the truck. I call my buddy that I work with, and I had a job I was supposed to be getting finished up. I'm like, dude, I just shot a buck. And he was like, oh, sweet, dude, that's awesome. I'm like, I mean, how hot is this job that has to get done today? And he's like, it's hot. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go down to the south end of the property. I'm going to fill that feeder, change the batteries out in that one camera. I'm going to go back to the hotel. I'll work for a little bit, and then I'm going to come back and look for this deer. So that's what I did. I just let him go for a little bit because he's probably still going to be alive for a little bit for only one lung in him, I'm guessing.
Yeah, your
shoulder.
Even if you, especially if you don't see it go down, my cardinal rule is I want to give it 3 to 4 minimum.
100%.
If I don't see it drop, even though I think, man, that's a smoke shot. Because the longer you think about it, then you're like, was it really?
Right.
You second guess yourself
all the time.
Yeah. Size, shot placement. I mean, you 12'd it, and you're like, was it there? And then you talk to everybody's like, did you hit him? Did you hit him good? That's everybody's first question. Yeah. You said, dude, I smoked him. You sure you hit him good?
My first instinct is I smoked him, and then all of a sudden the second
doubt sets in just instantly.
Dude, why didn't he go down? Like, why can't I find any blood? Like, I know it's only an entry wound, but still, like, if I hit him in the wheelhouse, he should be pumping.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm freaking out. But anyway, so I call him up. I'm like, I'm doing this. I go to the south end of the property. I walk in. There's a pond down there where our feeder is and stuff. I walk in with just 2 50-pound bags of corn over my shoulder. No bow, no nothing, right? I'm walking in with batteries in the corn, and I throw the corn down by the feeder. I go up to the camera, and I look up, and it's kind of like that part by the creek is kind of like open timber where there's like no saplings growing up underneath it. You can kind of see it. All of a sudden, I see a deer like walking slowly. And I'm like, oh, shit, it's a doe. I'm like, I got a doe tag too. I'm like, I'm going to go back to the truck and go get my bow, And I kind of see it a little bit. And I'm like, I thought it was a buck, but I'm like, nah, it's a doe, So I go back, grab my bow. I take my boots off, and I'm like sneaking through this like creek bottom, sneaking up to it. I get to almost the point where I see that deer, and I'm sitting there with my binos just glassing. I'm like, well, did it bed down? Like, where is it? I don't see it. Like, fuck it. So I get out of there, fill the feeder, do all that, go back to the hotel room. Then a couple hours later, I come back and start tracking this deer. Finally, after like 20, 40, 50 yards, I finally find a speck of blood. And then it's like a speck of blood. And then a little bit more blood. And then it's like through that brown CRP grass and super hard to find blood.
Yeah.
I'm like on my hands and knees. There's like 4 or 5 times where I gave up, and I'm praying. I'm praying the Lord. I'm like, please help me find this deer. Please help me. I know I killed him. Like, don't do this to me again.
Yeah, right.
I just went through this how many years, and it's like, I don't want to do this again. And then all of a sudden I find another speck of blood, and I track that son of a bitch all the way down to the south end of that property. And all of a sudden I lose blood again. And I'm like looking around, I'm like, there's no way. I tracked him this far. I tracked him 450 yards so far. And I'm like, there's no way I lost this deer. And I'm looking. And all of a sudden I find a speck of blood, and I walk over this little knoll, and he's fucking laying right there. And it was the deer that I saw by that feeder. He fucking fell in this knoll, and I was 20 yards away from him when I was stalking that deer, and I never even knew it. And he was dead as a door, and my arrow fell out right where he laid down.
No shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole time you're thinking, this can't happen to me again, because it takes a toll on you mentally.
Screws with you, man.
Yeah, because that's the last thing you want to do is wound an animal and not find it.
Yeah, and
that's in everybody's back of everybody's head when you go to pull the trigger.
You try to prep as much as you can and do all this work and all this knowledge that you try to take in, and you think you're doing everything right, and then something like that happens, and it just drains a guy. Like, everybody's, if you're an avid hunter, it's going to happen to you if it hasn't happened yet.
If you weren't going to just say that, that's exactly what I was going to say. If you hunt with a bow and arrow, I hate to say it, but you're gonna lose one.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't care what you shoot, how much poundage you shoot. You can shoot the fanciest bow, the nicest broadheads, whatever.
Yeah,
most FOC, whatever you want to talk about, you're gonna lose a deer.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. Yep.
But I found it, so I was on fucking cloud 9, dude. I was screaming, I was happy. I made that long shot, and I ended up finding them, and it did bust right through. Like, it wasn't like I said online. I'm like, oh, it busted right through the shoulder with that broadhead. And it wasn't the scapula. It was the fucking leg shoulder bone. It broke right through it. My broadhead the shaft was snapped off, and it went through, and it one-lunged him, and it nicked his heart, and he still went 500 yards.
Cool.
That's just
unreal.
It's unreal how tough. You poke me in the heart a little bit, I'm probably gonna just.
If you hit me in the foot, I'm going 3 fucking feet straight to the
Yeah.
ground.
We're gonna put a hole in the wall.
Yeah, I ain't going. I'm not going to go 5 feet, let alone 500 yards.
Yeah, it's unreal, the resilience of those animals. So it was an awesome hunt. I was super happy and got done early, September. So I'm like, dude, that's one tag down, right?
Yep.
And I knew I already drew Iowa. So my main focus was on Iowa.
That was your number one. That was your number one. Was because it's not like it's every other year there.
No. It took me 6 years to draw a tag.
It's 6. That's what it took me. 6.
Yep. And so once I found out I drew that tag, and the statistics came out with this leasing program, it was me for bow. So a lot of guys in this program only go for muzzleloader because you can get it every 2 years.
Yeah.
So they're like, they have leased land in Iowa, Missouri, and Kansas. They have like 185,000 acres that they lease, and 10,000 of it is in 4 and 5 of Iowa.
Yep.
Are you still doing this program?
I haven't this year, and I kind of, because I'm putting so much money into my personal leases, but it's really not that expensive, and I think I'm going to get back into it. So that's another thing. I joined it. You have to be in the program for a minimum of 2 years before they even let you hunt Iowa. So it's not like somebody can just join just to hunt Iowa and then get out of it.
Yeah.
Which is good.
No,
that's
smart.
absolutely.
Especially for that's probably one of the most prestigious whitetail tags.
Hands down.
And the zones 4 and 5 are probably the best zones in the United States.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's good on them for doing
Between that and Wallace, Stevenson, Michigan, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I those two right there, I wouldn't take anything else.
Right there.
Yeah,
That's
look
right.
at that.
I think they give you
There's actually
2
some
of
studs.
They give you 2 of those tags every year.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah. Wallace, Michigan.
But they have to be 4 points on one side or something like that? Or
If you do the combo tag,
Yep.
it's your first buck is 3 or better on one side.
Yep.
And then the next one is 4 or better.
Which
but
is
you can get
absolute awesome if you're going to do it that way. I will say that.
take notes, Wisconsin.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm kind of an advocate of that as well myself.
100%.
But you can get a single tag, and that's unrestricted.
Yep.
So
Oh, that is. So if you get a single tag, that's unrestricted.
Yeah, you can shoot a spike horn if you wanted to,
okay.
or a 3. There is
That
no
makes
point
sense.
restrictions
That makes sense.
with the single. But Missouri used to have that 4 on one side, and I thought that was great. And now
they don't have
like,
that anymore?
It's county dependent. So the county that I'm in used to be
Yep.
either 4 or better on one side,
Yep.
and then they dropped that this last year.
I think it should be county dependent. It shouldn't be a statewide thing. So just like Wisconsin, like I don't think that should be if they ever went to something like that, hopefully they do someday, but if they ever did like a 4-point on one side or anything like that, that should be based off of county too.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
obviously there's some counties that are way better than others. You know?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
but-
it's hands down.
Yeah.
So that zone 4 and 5 down there is that's it.
Yeah, so I went for zone 5. That's
Zone
what I ended
5.
up. Yep, that's what I ended up
Yep,
getting.
that's where I hunt, zone 5.
And
Just kidding. We'll edit all that out. We'll make it. What other zones are there?
yeah, right.
Don't go to zone 4 and 5.
Yeah, they suck. Well, good luck getting a tag. It's probably going to get worse as the years go on.
They cut tags this year. I keep a close eye on that just for my own personal agenda, just to see, and I like to know, because this last year they got smoked with blue tongue EHD.
Yeah, they
Bad.
did.
I mean, there was a couple spots that we hunt. There was a guy that I know that was hunting, and he's got a private 80. He would see easily shotgun, opening 3-4 days. He'd say 40, 50 deer a day easy. First 2 days, he did not see a deer.
That's bad.
And he had a pond on the neighbors, and they went over there between first and second shotgun. So first shotgun goes 5 days. Then you got it's the first Saturday in December, goes 5 days, stops. Then you got 2 days, Thursday, Friday, then second gun starts. So in between first and second gun, they went over there and they found 31 dead deer within 50 yards of that pond.
31.
31.
Oh my goodness.
18 bucks.
Wow.
And for whatever reason, that disease gets them mature bucks.
Yeah, they do.
So out of those bucks, out of that 18, I think 15 of them were like 140s and better.
Oh man, talk about devastation, dude.
Yeah. So he's like, he was just devastated. You know, I mean, just like any of us here and any of the people that listen, you know, you put your heart and soul into it. You know, your food plot and your mineral in Iowa, you can mineral and feed in the off season, you know, so that, I mean, it's all the work you do.
Yep.
And then it was all in right there. So it's going to take some time. So with that, they cut tags, resident or non-resident tags heavy.
Respectively. Yeah. They
Absolutely. I'm glad they did.
Yeah.
No,
you know, my son we were anticipating him to draw a late muzzleloader tag this year because it was pretty much every other year, you know, and he didn't draw this year, you know, which sucks because we had it planned and
Yep.
we're going to go down and that was going to be our hunt for this year. And they only did, I want to say it was under 900 tags.
Oh, wow.
So, which is not very many.
No.
But like you said, I mean, good for them. You know, that's kind of a system that's, you know, you hate it as a hunter because, well, you don't. I take that back.
It goes both ways.
Absolutely, you do too hate it. I mean, I agree with you 100%.
You know, you hate that you don't have the opportunity, but at the same time, the program itself needs to look out for,
and it's working, obviously.
the herd. You know, Wisconsin is the cheapest non-resident tag.
Yep.
In the country.
They just
for
want
whitetail.
your money.
And you know, I kind of feel like that's the way that it is. You know, hey, we just want everyone's money to come in and hunt here. As to where you look at, you know, I'm sure Missouri's going to hop on that board soon. I don't know if you're a member of like any of the Missouri hunting groups, but there's all drama in there as well.
Yep.
Pretty much like all these hunting groups are, but I mean, you have to manage the herd. Otherwise you'll be in the same boat nationwide. You know, everyone will just be bitching about everything then because the deer herd is down and it's the out-of-staters or it's the DNR killing all the CWD and you know, so
Absolutely.
I mean, as much as man, I wish I could hunt Iowa every year. Absolutely, but that's why it takes 6 years.
And that's why it's such a good spot to go hunt.
Exactly.
And I think that's why it's special too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you get that tag, like you were thinking in your head, like that's my focus. Like I got that tag.
You can't not focus on a tag like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's right where you were at. You know, that was your main goal right from the get-go.
And it was just a unreal experience, you know. So I go down there in the end of October, beginning of November, somewhere in there. I did a lot of pre-scouting in the early season. I put cameras up and did all that stuff. Saw a lot of good bucks on camera. A lot of my Tacticams died early. And some of them were on properties that didn't even get reception. So they were on, but I wasn't getting pictures sent, which I didn't care. I was like, I'll just check them when I get there. And lo and behold, that they were, you know, they try to find signal. So my cameras only lasted a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Are you running like this is 23. So the 3.0s were not.
Like
the 3.0s, I had the 2.0s, I had SKs, and I had the XBs, I think were out.
What's nice now is that the 3.0s you don't have to have a SIM card for them anymore.
Yeah. Yep.
So I learned that the hard way in Missouri. My first year down there was I had all AT&T cards because that's what I ran everywhere around here. And I bring them AT&T cameras right down to Missouri.
And couldn't get reception
signal anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, let's go hit up the local shop and buy 5 more of these bad boys. Because what are you going to do?
Yeah, right. You're there.
Right.
You know, it's...
You know, yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, the new cameras are really nice that you can go to either. It doesn't matter which will hook up to the
you
closest
just turn
one or whatever.
Hit the on button.
But the couple spots that I had, it didn't matter. Like I had SIM cards, like the SKs and the XBs. You could switch out the SIM cards. You can switch them back and forth, and it didn't matter. I couldn't get reception at all, and not even with my cell phone.
Yeah, even when I'm down there hunting too, you'll get into a valley or a certain farm that's got a little low spot or something, and you're not making any call. It's SOS.
Yep.
Yeah, isn't that here? I'm gonna bitch about something here. Why can I get my internet from space, but my Tacticams and my cell phone doesn't work on planet Earth everywhere?
Yeah, it should. It would just be a hell of a lot more expensive.
Yeah, I don't.
You can get a satellite phone.
You can, but
They're expensive as shit.
they are.
So if you get a cell camera that goes off satellite.
Why in the hell would you want to get a hold of anybody when you're hunting? My favorite spot to hunt is where my phone doesn't work.
I agree. And I don't bring my phone out to the stand a lot of times because I learned the hard way a few times.
Pornhub gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pants down.
yeah, in the saddle.
Yeah, told you. I told you. That's why I don't do the saddle.
Yeah.
Just easy
twice in
access.
that
Like, I know what you're saying. Fall asleep in
Just-
the cradle.
Just scrolling, and all of a sudden,
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's right there.
Caught red-handed.
done.
Mm-hmm.
You,
And
you,
just
are,
want
you
to
already
smash that thing.
you already lost your opportunity. So,
Yeah, that definitely happens.
but for the safety purposes of it,
Yeah, absolutely. I think now it's so nice to have, something happens, something breaks, part of the saddle breaks or whatever case may be. It's nice to have a text, hey, somebody can come help me.
Or you slip out of the sticks
Or-
when you're climbing down or something or anything.
or just like having the location shared with, certain people.
Absolutely.
My wife's a big one that like, I'm going out. Like this is where I'll be.
I should be back at this time.
Right.
Yep.
But I mean, sometimes you just slip up and you don't, or you're not there.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I'll get down and I'll chase an opportunity if I see it somewhere else.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So I might be on that property or in that vicinity, but I might
Right.
be a quarter mile away,
Right.
and then
Sometimes I don't even move that far. Like, I'm typically when I hunt out of town, I'm always on the go.
Yep.
I'm always moving. So it's either I'm gonna hunt the afternoon in this spot and I'll hunt it in the morning.
Yeah.
And if I don't feel like it's right, I'm getting down midday and I'm moving.
Yeah.
And I'm hunting another spot afternoon, morning.
Yeah.
And that's what I do.
When you run your saddle, give us a little bit of a breakdown of how you set that up. Like, are you sticks in a tiny platform?
Yeah. So
that what you're running?
I run all tethered stuff.
Okay.
So I jumped on the whole saddle bandwagon kind of when they first came out. I have not the original one, but I have the Phantom. I think it is. That's the second version. I don't have any of the newer ones yet. I should probably upgrade my stuff. And then I have all the tethered one sticks. I got 5 of those. I used to use 8ers, but then with I think I had 3 of them with 8ers, and then I said screw the 8ers, and I just got 2 more sticks. So I got 5 sticks total, and then I got the Predator platform, which I want to upgrade that too because I still have the OG Predator platform.
I will say if you're not running the XL,
I don't run the XL.
just run the XL.
But I like the new black one that they have, and then they also have the carbon fiber one, which is cool. So there's a lot of stuff I can upgrade, but that's what I run. But I'm all a one shot. So I got a retractable on my pouch for my bow, and I'm a one shot up and a one shot down. And I have, I got the hitch strap for my bow hanger and my backpack hanger and all that crap. I got a camera arm that I put right in my backpack. So I use my phone now for filming.
Yep.
I do all that. And I use the painted arrow phone mount and all that crap.
Yep.
And I have a GoPro I put in a tree. So I can literally climb up my tree from the ground and have everything ready and start. And I can be completely set up with a camera and everything in under like 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Like fast.
Yeah. Once you get it down, it's, same thing. I run cameras as well. And it's, once you got it down pat, your system.
Yeah.
It's definitely a learning curve.
It is, but I wouldn't go any other way. I'm so fast and mobile now. Like if I see a deer or constant deer movement over here, I don't have to worry about like taking a whole stand down and everything. I'm like literally, I can get down faster than I can get up, and then I'm moving already, and I'm looking for any kind of tree. It doesn't matter. I don't need a big tree for my tree stand, or whatever. I can get up in anything.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm only hunting 10 feet off the ground.
That's what I was going to ask you. Like on average, when you go up to that, what's your your ideal?
My 5 sticks to my platform is anywhere from like, depending on how far. Sometimes I space them differently, but it's anywhere from like 18 to 20 feet. That's my ideal spot.
Right,
I'm not too high because your shot angle is really tight and your spot's a lot smaller, and I'm not too low. But depending on what the coverage is like behind me, like the foliage, sometimes low is better.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll hunt 10 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
Like I'm 100% comfortable with that.
Yep.
Especially if you're like in a clump of trees and you got some good coverage behind you, you're set. So that's what I run.
Like you said, sometimes depending on what you're in, it's just it's better to be low because I've been
Skylined.
Oh yeah, yep.
by trying to get way up there before. And it's like,
Back in the day, I used to hang stands like fucking 30 feet up in the tree. I'm like, yeah, nobody's freaking gonna smell me up here.
Just drop the arrow on it when it just walks past you.
I do that for gun hunting. Once in a while, I used to do that and go way the hell up on the side of an oak ridge. Yeah, and you're down in a valley. You look like you're 100 feet up in the air, and you can see forever. But that's different than bow hunting. Completely different scenario.
Yeah, that big one that I shot, I was like 12 feet.
Yeah.
In no foliage around me, in a crooked cherry tree.
Really?
Yeah. Just it was like 2 pegs. The tree was just gnarly crooked, and that was the only spot at that intersection where I needed to be, and it was like 12, 13 feet.
And it fucking worked out perfect, didn't it?
Oh, that thing was smoke city.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That's awesome. But anyway, so I guess back to the Iowa. The very first sit, I got down there, I don't know, 10, 11 o'clock, dropped my stuff off at my Airbnb, ran to my first property, pulled my cards, found out that my cameras died like second week of October. So I'm like, son of a bitch. But I had some shooters on camera on this first property.
But nothing super close to the time you were there.
No, I didn't.
You knew where they were there, but you had no idea.
Yep. So I found this shitty tree I was up in. I climbed up on the edge of the CRP field, and it's the only decent tree by this creek. And I'm
We can take a break.
No, I was trying to shout out the Coors Banquets.
Oh, I thought you were asking for another one.
No, I wasn't.
We can take a break if you want.
I don't need to take a break. No, I'm good.
I kind of have to pee.
Okay, we'll take a break. All right. Cut. Back to Iowa. So
Mike's not even mic'd up yet.
Hold on. I got
that's all right.
fucking work dickheads texting me.
He's fine.
Dude, I hate having a job, man. That shit is so fucking stupid.
Who works for a living?
Hey, put some couple more fucking podcasts out there. Maybe we can double our 36 cents and we can have something.
We're up to 54 cents made off of social media.
Oh, and FYI, if anybody wants to see a really cool hunt, go on YouTube, look up Casey Liegeois Hunt, and watch my video and subscribe. I'm gonna put a crap ton of more videos on there. I need 1,000 subscribers so I can make $1 at least, because I got 230,000 views and I'm not even making $1 off of it because I only got like 400 subscribers.
Hey, we're gonna put that right in the intro.
Yeah, you can't.
There.
Yeah, because you can't you can't monetize it until you have 1,000 subscribers. So
I was fortunate enough I posted a turkey teaser video.
This fucking stupid thing.
What's stupid?
It's just funny. Turkey hunting is just fucking.
Dude, turkey hunting's cool, man.
I like turkey hunting. It's like the elk hunting of Midwest.
I'm telling you, right now, like there's
if you want to talk shit on turkey hunting, we might have to fight right now. Because what are you doing in the spring?
Okay, you get this antler and you get this antler.
So in the spring, it's usually I get really busy at work. So usually it's really hard for me to.
Mike, you don't even work though. So
I take all my time. I take all my time. All my work just went back. All my helpers just went back to school. So now I have to freaking get back.
Maybe you should get away from child labor and.
Oh shit!
I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say, but
yeah, I'm just fucking around.
I love turkey hunting too, but I haven't probably shot a turkey in like 2 or 3 years just because I don't put enough time into it, and I get a tag and then I don't do it.
Yeah, that's what I do. I've had a turkey tag the last 4 years in a row, and I've never turkey hunted just because I get so busy.
It is fun though. It's addicting. When you get up in the morning and you're sitting and you roost them and you hear that first gobble in the morning, it's like hearing an elk bugle. From what I've heard, I haven't elk hunted yet, so I can't say.
Neither have I. But
so it's probably another thing that I don't want to get addicted to, because like when I get into something,
your balls deep.
I'm all in it.
Yeah, but turkey
so he's going to saddle hunt this year for sure.
Turkey hunting is
balls deep in
the saddle.
Hey guys,
I'm starting a saddle company. It's going to be called Balls Deep, hanging from your balls.
Yeah.
Turkey hunting though it's only 6 weeks. In Wisconsin, you can get. I got 3 tags in Wisconsin last year. Two in Michigan.
That's where they all go.
There's hammers over in Michigan.
One tag.
Michigan. Yeah.
Dude, I applied for like the 2nd season this year, and I think I got like the 4th, which is I think is considered a leftover.
I've never gotten the 1st season.
Yeah, it's horseshit. I think
in
it's
Michigan?
because No, in
Or in
Wisconsin.
In Wisconsin.
I think it's because I haven't shot one, so they kind of. I mean, it's probably unregistered. Be like, this fucker's not one.
Yeah, this
He's also fucking
He's probably a PETA member. He's
Yeah,
buying a tag for his shits and
Look at-
giggles.
he's probably going to try and hunt a turkey out of a saddle. He's probably going to shoot it out of the roost in the saddle. That'd be the freaking shit right there.
Yeah, it would be.
Would you shoot a turkey out of roost?
No.
No.
Is it legal? I don't know.
If it's daylight and
If
up in a
you're,
tree,
if you're in shooting
I don't know
hours,
if you can.
I believe if it's legal shooting hours here,
But is it good hunting
I don't
practice?
think it's good ethics.
No, shooting a gun up in the air is probably not a. I mean, you do it.
I mean, it is a
goose
shot-
duck
it is
hunting,
a
I guess. So
shotgun.
what's the difference?
I've never
Don't look at me. I don't have a clue.
Just looking around the table.
Yeah.
I've never not shot a turkey with a bow though.
I think, see, that's where
So
I think
I don't think
I would be
wouldn't-
like, that would be like me. I would love to just whack it with the bow.
Speaking of shooting shit
so
out of a
much
tree
harder.
with a bow, not to sidetrack, but I drew a bobcat tag this year.
No
Did
way.
you?
I did.
Dude, I work for south of 64 or north.
North.
I got your guy.
I already have a guy.
Do you?
Yeah.
You're gonna run them with the bear with
Dogs.
the dogs and then shoot.
Yeah.
That's why I'm
And
applying. for
I don't know
mine.
what to take though. I'd really love to shoot with the bow, but I'm gonna get a full body mount the fucker, and I don't want to put a big hole in it. So I'm like, what should I shoot it with?
Shoot it with the bow and sew the hole up.
Yeah, but
A fixed blade
Yeah, use a
Yeah,
small.
I'll have to
use
go
a little
with-
slick trick like
you're
that.
right. I should.
or a Grim
'Cause I'm like
Reaper
that fucking-
micro Hades. Or,
That beast will fucking rip the front
Oh
shoulder
no,
right
yeah,
off.
no,
I shouldn't do that.
fuck.
2.3 inch cut, just fuck.
The whole thing's only 8 inches wide to begin with.
Yeah, that's a good idea though. Maybe I should shoot with like a small fixed blade.
Yeah,
Probably
use like
alright.
go with like a small slick trick to
Yeah.
some little mini nitros.
Yep.
Those things are nice. They're
And
really
just
tiny.
bring a gun for backup. But yeah, not to go off tangent with turkey hunting, but I just thought of shooting shit.
This
out of
Turkey
the tree.
hunting is
entire-
off a tangent.
This entire coming back from the
Taking
piss
a piss
break
is
has
a tangent.
been a tangent.
100%.
I don't even know
How we got on turkeys?
how we got into this or where to even start
Well, we started off in Iowa.
the edit of
Oh, you
coming
can
back from
leave all
the
this
piss
in here.
break.
This is perfect.
Yeah, leave it all in here, dude.
Pounding on me.
People
about turkey.
love it. People love it when you just free ball it.
But-
you know, you don't need to.
That's where I'm at, bros.
Yeah, I don't.
But dude, I love turkey hunting. Mike,
I'm free balling it
Next
right
year-
now. I'm in my
you're-
saddle. I'm practicing.
that a boy. We're gonna turkey hunt next year.
Yes, we are because I applied for seasons 1, 2 for next year, and I got some. I've been doing a lot of turkey scouting already. I got some freaking giants over by my 40 I bought. Oh,
Yeah,
there's
they come right into the corn every day.
no.
And people
they're in
are
the
like-
alfalfa field every
And
day.
people are like, oh, it doesn't matter. You know, a tom is a tom and blah, blah, blah. But the more you get into it, like you dive deep into like, okay, how big are the spurs and like, what do the beards
Yeah.
look like? Like that's a trophy. Like if you're not like going out and like freaking have your binos on a turkey and be like, oh, those are the spurs I want to shoot.
Right.
But when you shoot a big one, they're like,
Yeah,
that's like,
right.
that's like, oh crap, look at these spurs, man.
Right.
This is awesome. You
Yep.
know?
Yeah.
Or look at this triple beard or whatever. You know,
Right.
that's all cool shit.
I will say though, the Mike Waddell had a video out
I watched that.
where he goes into, all right, I understand the aging of this to this and this.
I'm not
Hey,
saying
hey,
going out and you should age a turkey.
Okay,
I'm not saying
okay.
that. I'm not saying that. I 100% agree with Michael Waddell's.
Okay,
Where he said you go out and just shoot a bird because a
it's
bird's
got
a bird.
a long beard's a long beard.
Yep, 100%. Which I agree with.
Is the longer the beard, the older it is.
No,
No,
necessarily.
not because
No.
I shot.
It's based off the Spurs.
Yep, I shot.
So what
a
are you doing?
turkey
It's in the
last
alfalfa
year.
field, standing there, and you're supposed to.
That's
just
what I'm saying.
If it has,
You're not.
if it's not a Jake, I say
Let it
yeah,
eat.
let her eat.
Yeah, 100%. I would say that 100%. I'm saying that after the
Yeah.
fact that you shoot it, not like you're going out and looking for
Yeah.
it. I'm
Right.
saying after the fact that, or if you like put trail cameras out on a clover plot or something and you have a really big tom there and he's distinctive and you know he has big spurs and a distinctive beard,
Yep.
like
Then
maybe
you're holding out
maybe
for
I'll
that
wait for
one.
that turkey,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
depending. But I 100% agree with you. I'm not going to be like I said, with binos looking at these spurs and be like, oh, I don't want to shoot that one. He only has an inch spurs. Like,
I've never even
wouldn't
had
do
the
that.
time.
yeah, you can't move that much with turkey.
No.
No, that's the thing. But it's so fun. It's
Turkeys drive me nuts. They're the dumbest birds for.
the smartest, dumbest bird on the planet.
That's a good analogy right there.
Yep.
Smartest, dumbest bird.
I read somewhere one time that if they look up while it rains, they drowned. I don't know if that's real, but I read that somewhere. That turkeys are so dumb if they
That
were
must have
to,
been a PETA magazine.
All right.
probably not correct. But
Did you go outside
read
when it
that-
was raining and look up then?
I did.
I thought I heard somebody gurgling over there.
I did say, I did used to mock turkey hunters, not mock turkey hunters, but turkey hunting. I was like, these birds, I've literally like hit turkeys with sticks when I was a kid growing up.
You see these videos online now with these guys like strutting on the ground and making turkey noises, and they're coming right up to them like.
It's all fine and dandy until you put a bow in your hand or a gun, and then you try and kill that bird. Then it doesn't happen.
No, absolutely not.
I had on my land this year, springtime. I'm out there. I made some new food plots, and I was out there all the time. Cut a bunch of trees down, and there was turkeys out there nonstop. I seen them running through the pine plantation, on the neighbors across in the alfalfa field. So I told they were back and forth there all day long. Every time I drove past there, I had permission. I can get permission from 400 people to turkey hunt. It's insane. I call everybody, hey, can I turkey hunt? Yeah. So I had 800 acres to turkey hunt on for this spring. I didn't have a tag. My son did, and a couple of his friends did. And they were there left and right. So I told the one kid that works for me, he's like, I got a turkey tag. Yeah, go out there. I said, I just seen them out there the last 3 days in a row. They're just right there. Set up right here, call. They were right there. So, no problem. Goes out there 3 consecutive days, never sees a bird.
Yeah, that's how it happens. Though.
So the time 100%. The time that you think it's a walk in the park is
that's
exactly what it is.
I've had some fairly easy turkey hunts, but
you also have ones that are struggling.
Where it's like you just said, gimme bird.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna be eating breakfast at Webb's by
7:30.
7:30 in the morning.
The day that you expect that, you're not going to get a turkey to even come in.
Yeah, right.
Well, it's the same thing with deer hunting. I got this buck pattern. I know he's coming out to this food forest. Here's his bed. Here's his feed. I'm getting in between. I've had him on camera here 14 days in a row. Sit there.
Day 15, biometric pressure's way off. You're done.
Yeah, right. Thermals are different. You're there.
Yeah.
He's seen you,
100%.
Smelled you. The 17th weird sense.
Yeah, they know so much. I think there's guys that go hunting and they're like, I didn't see a deer. You probably had a lot more deer around you than you even realized, and you didn't even know they're there.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
And they scooted around you, especially mature bucks. Mature bucks don't bust out of, if they're downwind of you and they smell you, they're not going to bust out of there. They're going to slowly walk away.
He's not snorting.
No,
he doesn't want to let you know that he's there.
100%.
Yep. Yeah, I have seen that multiple times to where mature bucks coming in to where I can visibly see, but they just get to a point,
hit the binders,
and they just turn around. And if I wasn't looking in that direction or on
if you were
doing that.
Not to go off on more of a tangent here, but kind of with buck skirting and all that other stuff, what are your guys' take on cell cameras at eye level or ground level?
All of my cameras are elevated. 2 sticks. Every camera I set. 2 sticks. Yep, 2 sticks. They might not be and I've screwed myself in this before with the camera setup, but I do not want my deer to see a camera. Not my deer, but I do not want a deer to see a camera ever. I mean, I don't know how they know, whether it's frequencies or, there's all this information out there that they can sense this. And,
I 100% believe that, for sure.
And so, I bring my saddle out. I have minimum 2 sticks on me at all times, depending on the tree that I'm in. It's elevated. And I do a ton of public land hunting also. And this isn't it's kind of a deterrent also to here, let's go off on this also. It's a deterrent for someone to steal my camera, for one. And if someone were to pull my chip and check it, I'm not opposed to that. Whatever. So, where are you guys on that with pulling someone else's chip on public land?
If I was on public land and I had my camera at eye height, if you just take my chip and want to look at it, I could give 2 shits less.
And put it back.
Yep.
Yeah. Don't steal it.
Don't take it and just walk off with it.
Nope. I carry a SD card reader for my phone. I see a camera, I'm checking it.
I did that in Kansas. Yeah.
I'm putting it back.
I put it right back.
And I'm making sure your camera's turned on and you're good to go, ready to rock.
Are you deleting those pictures?
No. Absolutely not.
I wouldn't delete their pictures.
No. The biggest thing is I just want to see if other people have been. I want to see the people traffic as well. Just because you don't have a picture of a big buck, but I'm in an area and I'm like, all right, this is it. Like surrounding area, this is where I want to be. If there's a mature buck somewhere around here, your camera just might not be catching it.
Oh, like, hands down, you're not even covering a 50th of it.
Yeah. Exactly. So I'm still going to go hang my cameras somewhere that I want to see, but I just want to see like people pressure, because that's what's going to dictate whether or not. If you got monsters on camera all the time, no, I'm not deleting your stuff. That's why I write my phone number on there, and some of my cameras I leave a note like please just get a hold of me, because I would much rather we work together on a spot of public than be constantly working against each other. And I think a lot of people don't.
No, I think there's a lot of guys out there just to screw the next guy too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
there should be more guys on the same page.
Shut the cameras off and,
delete your chip.
Because they think it's
or steal it.
It's their public land. It's their area. You're in.
I've been hunting here for 30 years.
Yeah. Well, I found this public land on Onyx, and I also have access to it. Right. So, like, it's all of ours.
But on that same note, if I move into an area and I know somebody else has been hunting there for a while, I move out.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't.
I don't care if I don't care if I get a big buck picture or not.
You would move out.
I'd move out. If somebody else I already know that's hunting right there, I'm not going to be that guy.
On top of them, I'm not going to cut them off.
Absolutely.
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't give a shit if there's a double drop time buck there.
That happens too often where it's happened up, like I hunt up in Pembine. That's our family cabin up there. We've been hunting up there. My grandpa got a cabin up there like in the 70, 75, I think it was. Happened so many times where they're on a public land back in the day when you could bait, and they'd have a really good spot, shoot a good buck, whatever. And then all of a sudden, like year after year, you get guys trickling closer and closer and closer. And all of a sudden, like my uncle had instances where he had a spot and he put his wife there, and there was guys sitting 25, 50 yards right down a trail that was coming to their bay pile.
Yep.
He's like, what the hell are you doing? Well, it's public land. I can sit here. Like, I wouldn't fucking do that.
That's dirty.
No.
That's dirty.
Yeah.
That gets your ass fucking beat. So that does.
100%.
That's why I wouldn't do it to anybody else, because if the shoe was on the other foot and I had a nice buck on camera and somebody came in there, I hope they would, and I was there first, I'd hope they showed me the respect that I would show you.
100%.
So I would take my stuff and I would leave. That's one nice thing about having that cameras up high like that, because probably 9 times out of 10, the guy that's walking past will not even see it.
The average Joe's not going to know it's there.
Because even if you're not looking up, you're scouting out.
Right.
I'm looking 50 yards ahead of me when I'm walking in the woods. I'm not looking at my feet.
Right.
So I'm scanning, looking for buck rubs, sign, trails.
Yeah.
Old rubs,
tracks,
anything. So I'm not paying attention to that, and if I do see it, I will not check somebody else's card. I don't touch anybody else's camera. If I get my picture taken, I just turn around and I walk the other way.
Yeah.
I don't even open somebody else's camera. That's just my deal, because it's not mine.
I mean, it's pretty controversial topic.
It is.
And so that's just mine. I don't lock mine on public. I don't lock it to the tree. I don't put it in a bear safe.
No,
and in the peoples that we have come across, out by our cabin, we hunt a lot of public. I mean, a lot. So we're all over.
Yep.
And I do not touch somebody else's stuff. It's not mine.
Yeah.
If I get my picture taken and I walk out in front of it, I just turn around, usually wave, and then I walk
away.
Yeah. I will not touch it. I will not open up the camera. I do not check his chip. I don't touch it. To me, that's touching somebody else's stuff. I wouldn't want you walking up to mine and opening up my camera and checking it. So I do the same to somebody else. Other people might have a different opinion on it. Yeah, it's county land. Yeah, it's somebody else's, but you put your name on it, right?
Yeah, I put my name.
So that's your personal property.
I agree.
Even though it's on county land.
That's true. Yeah.
But that's no different than a stand or something like that. So right. I that's me. I don't touch it. If somebody else opens it up and check it, I got no problem with that. If you were to open up mine and look at it and put it back, I don't have a problem with that, but I just wouldn't do it.
I think there's, yeah, I agree. I wish more people would put names and phone numbers on there because
I can honestly say I've never ran into a tree stand or a camera that has a name on it or a phone number.
My brother, we put all of our stuff on it.
So do I. I put that
You're
on all my
supposed
cameras.
to.
Yeah,
you are.
Land.
Yeah, that's the law.
Legally, you
Yes.
have to have your name and phone number on your tree stands.
Yep.
I don't know about cameras, but
Yeah, I think so too. But in that name and phone number,
Camera, you don't have to have your name and phone. You have to have your DNR, customer ID number on it.
oh, that's what my brother.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, my brother has his DNR number on him. But that stand from the ground has to be legible. You have to be able to read that stand your name and number from the ground. Okay. So if you look up at it and if it's 20 feet,
mine's not.
No, but that's.
But I settle hunt now, so I don't.
So none of my. I don't
so
have
you
any. I don't have anything
there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
What a tangent.
No, we're so far gone.
No, I agree with the whole. I would much rather someone pull my chip than take my camera.
Yeah, hands down,
100%.
for sure.
I don't know. I don't know in anybody's right mind why would you take somebody else's shit?
Yeah.
Why would you take somebody's shit? And how many times in the past have I heard of, oh yeah, opening day of gun hunting, I walked back there and somebody was sitting in my stand.
Well, yeah, we get that a lot.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Like, why would you do that? Why would you chance that?
I would
it's
never,
public land. I don't care if it's public. That's not your stand. Like,
right.
Why are you sitting in it?
I would never, sit in someone else's stand. I would never vandalize anyone else's equipment. I would never
post up 10 yards away from somebody.
You know, would I have a camera that's probably in that vicinity? I mean, yeah, that's kind of where like it's the whole, I'm just getting information. I might never hunt here. I have, like, you've seen my Onyx. You've seen my Tacticam maps and
yeah, absolutely.
I have so many cameras out everywhere that most places I will not hunt. Odds are I will hunt especially with what I have going on now, like the amount of time that I have.
Yeah,
I'm going to be lucky if I'm going to get
8 days.
Oh, you'll be fine.
I'm going to get time to I'm going to get time to get in the woods, but I'm going to be lucky to get the amount of time that I would hope for.
Right.
But yeah, I'm going to pull a chip and I'm going to look at it and I'm going to put it back. And if you have your phone number on it and your batteries say that it's low, I'm going to text you and say,
hey bro.
I just looked at your camera. You might have a dick pic on it.
But no, for real. And I wish someone would do the same to me.
Yeah.
And
show respect, get respect.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It just goes hand in hand.
And you're much better off to be in contact with the people that you're hunting in an area to coordinate.
But doesn't that transfer with anything in life?
Yeah, it should.
Business or anything.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But it's a mindset that I think a lot of the younger generation isn't getting taught. They
want it. They want it the easy way, and they want it right now.
Yeah.
I want to walk out in the woods on a mowed trail, climb up 12 feet, shoot a 180, and then post it on every freaking whatever.
That's exactly what I want, Mike. I want nothing less than that.
What?
But you want to know what? It's probably not going to happen. So that's why it's the hundreds of miles put on in the off season.
But it's the work. It's the work that goes in with it. I'm just saying, like they want to do little work and have great reward. Just like at work nowadays, they want $30 an hour.
Yeah.
But don't know what a piece of stainless steel is or how to weld it. But I want $30 an hour. Can I come work for you?
Yeah.
Yes, you can. And you're going to get 12.
Yep.
Well, this guy's not getting 12. Yeah, but he's been here for 25 years and he knows what he's doing.
Right.
It's going to take you that time to get there, but they don't want that.
That's not fair.
Yeah, right. Wait till I go home and tell my mom. She's going to be pissed.
That's good.
Go ahead. Here's my number.
I'll buy you a fucking bottle.
Yeah.
Here's my number. And you're in deep shit because I am also head of HR.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's pathetic.
HR, equal opportunity, sharp. What else do we got over?
CFO,
what else?
CEO.
Oh, you're probably
president, vice president.
Yep. I'm also the safety director.
I'm also the motherfucking man.
Yeah. And as a matter of fact, I write the checks. So
I also
payroll.
Yeah. I am head of payroll too.
You see that other name on that check that you just got, or are probably not going to get now? But everyone else that gets a check from me, my name is also right there.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we spun a good one, but
Holy shit!
But I like it though. That's
the best thing about podcasting. It's just a BS session, right?
Absolutely.
You're going on. You're
and
telling
we had
the
some
story.
we had some good points with the turkeys and then the deer and the
cameras.
Yeah, I think that was a good one.
It's always good topics.
Yeah. Yes, I put my cameras 2 sticks minimum, and I'll check your game cameras.
Oh yeah,
but put your number on it because I would like to coordinate it, and I don't want to be busting out at a spot.
Yeah, but that's kind of going back to what we were talking about is where you put your cameras and what you think the deer deter from them. I'm starting to believe, I'm a firm believer that mature bucks definitely avoid your cameras.
Yeah,
you might get a picture of them once, but then after that they're going to avoid it.
Yeah, for sure.
And maybe you won't get a picture of him because he already can sense that it's there and he's going to avoid it.
Or they saw it sticking out of the tree.
I still do both. I still put cameras down at the level that they're supposed to be, or for good picture quality, because I like seeing farther past, because sometimes they don't come into your mock scrape or bait station or whatever. But I also like to put them high too, so I do both. And I'm a firm believer in mock scrapes, 100%. I started in 2015 and I haven't looked back.
How do you set up your mock scrapes?
Well, what do you mean?
Like, do you use any
rope, whatever?
Yeah. What are you setting? What are you using for your licking branch or mock scrape? Then are you putting any scent on what you're setting up?
100%.
Yeah.
So I've been doing it since 2015. I got in ties with this company that I'm not going to say the name of them because they no longer exist. They might exist, but the 2 guys left there and started their own company. It's called Pure Whitetail. I've been with them ever since they started. I think is by far the best scent is on the market. It's expensive and it's good and it works. And they expanded their company. They're just blue collar guys like me. One guy worked in the mill, the metal mill, and his whole life, and they quit, and now they do this full time. They own a bunch of different products and bought a bunch of different brands. But anyways, so I started in 2015. I knew about scrapes, but I didn't know much in detail about them. And they're the ones that turned me on to going to hunting shows and stuff like that. I met them. They're the ones that turned me on to early season mock scrapes. They're like, you run these fuckers all year round, man. The deer are curious animals. They're going to check it out.
Yep.
So they're like, the first year I ever ran a mock scrape, I started it in the end of July, early August. I put it out within, not the first week, but I would say by the second week, I had 15 bucks coming to that scrape. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, holy shit. Are you kidding me? This is amazing, And it just grew from there. So now I'm really meticulous about how I do scrapes, how I touch stuff. I always go in scent free with my hands. Always wear gloves, always wear rubber boots.
Yep.
I use everything from natural branches to rope to hemp to there's vines. Vines, I think, are probably like the best bet.
I use vines a lot.
If you can find a natural vine and use that, even if you cut it off from that area and hang it on something else, I think vines work the best. So I do a pre-orbital in the licking branch.
Yep.
And then I, depending on the time of season, is what I ever put in the mock scrape. So early season, I would usually just run regular buck pea or regular doe pea. And then once it gets to I would say the middle of October, I start running like a buck estrus, not buck estrus, but buck rut scent. And then during the beginning of November, I might sprinkle in a little bit of estrus in there.
Okay.
But after basically, so you start a mock scrape, as soon as a deer hits it,
I'm out.
It's not done. Well, I might not be out because there might be a buck that comes checks it, and he might not come back for a little bit. So I might freshen up with something just to entice him to come back because it has worked. So a couple different points. Very rarely do I hunt right over top of a mock scrape. If it's a field edge, I probably would. If it's a timber scrape, definitely not, because a buck, especially a mature buck, is going to go downwind of that scrape about 50, 60 yards to scent check it. So I'm always hunting about 60 to 80 yards from that scrape downwind of wherever that is. I forgot what the other point I was going to say, but I absolutely love them. I think it's a great way to do inventory. But that's what I was going to say. you start a mock scrape, but as soon as a deer hits it, that's not a mock scrape. That's an active scrape.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you get a couple deer hitting it, you pretty much don't have to touch it. If it's rut time, if I'm out of state, like this buck that's behind us right now in Iowa, I put up a mock scrape. He started hitting it daylight in October, the end of October, hit it for 3 days, was gone for 4 days, came back, hit it again. And it was probably like around October. Never got him on camera after that. I shot him on November 6th. But I knew he was in the area.
Yep.
And there was 6-7 other bucks that were hitting that were really good bucks that were hitting that scrape. So I knew that I don't have to touch it. I don't have to go near it. I didn't even hunt next to it. I was probably 100 yards from it when I shot that buck.
Okay.
What are your thoughts? Everybody talks about this all the time. Oh, I pissed in that scrape. I pissed in that scrape. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think they can differentiate human to deer?
No. So I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I went to Buffalo County Outfitters, and he asked everyone to piss in that scrape. Whenever you walked past a mock scrape or a natural scrape or, anything he set up or natural, he said, piss in it. Please, piss in it. He said, if there's a camera there, face away from the camera. So from what
You just forgot.
What's that?
I said, you just forgot. So
I just forgot. I just forgot. So,
give him a Brett Favre.
Yep. I'm not embarrassed, so I'm facing the camera. And so the original owner of Buffalo County Outfitters, who's now like a guide there, I can't remember his name, but super knowledgeable dude, is friends with all kinds of whitetail biologists and mammal biologists. He's been doing this for a long time. And every biologist has ever said that mammal piss is indistinguishable from other mammal piss.
Mm-hmm.
Urine for you other folk.
The lay people.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's on. They can't tell. I'm a firm believer in that. I don't think they can take a smell. It's not the urine part of it. It's the
wetness. So I've also just carried a gallon jug with me to just wetten up that area, because once you add water to that, it kind of reignites.
It does.
Your scrape.
100%.
Yep. Squirt bottle, anything just to get it.
But I do believe there's different levels of ammonia in somebody's piss or a deer's piss or something that. So I think the smell is different, but I don't think they can differentiate a human to an animal or anything. But I think like a buck in rut and he's pissing in there and jerking off in the scrape is different than if I sit there and jerk off in the scrape.
Saddle hunter.
Yeah. Is that confirmed to work?
No, but
Nobody sure gives it a freaking hell of a go.
I sure give it a go.
I'm a firm believer in mock scrapes. I think they work awesome.
Yeah, I am too. I've had numerous success with it.
If I almost all the time, even if there's not a scrape there, or if I'm on a dominant trail or there's big tracks, a lot of times that I'm out scouting, the main thing that I'm looking for is just tracks. Now, that's kind of something that a couple of buddies of mine that are, super successful, public land, bow hunters, get it done every year. That's like the one thing that they tell me all the time is you just have to go and look for tracks.
Mm-hmm.
And a big buck's going to leave a big track.
Yep.
If you're not going to go find big tracks, a lot of times they move on. I'm not good at finding big tracks all the time. so
and it's not. I don't think it's 100%, but nothing is. Finding you might be in a spot like you said, and you don't find a big track, but there still might be a big buck in there. You just weren't on the right trail or in the right spot. Same thing with mock scrapes. You might not put that scrape in the right spot, and you might not get it. So somebody for the very first time might have put a scrape up, and it's not in a good spot, and they're like, "Well, I didn't get no fucking deer on that scrape. It's not hitting it." Well, you put it in the wrong spot. You have to be able to move them.
Deer are very cautious when it comes to that also. So it has to be, in my time doing it, it has to be flat.
Mm-hmm.
You can't put them on a side hill. I don't think I've ever seen anything on a side hill. So you have to, when you're making them, it has to be a real spot.
Yeah.
I just can't go out to the woods and whack a rope up in freaking spot. Yeah, and pick a random spot. There has to be a reason why.
Yep.
No.
You know, it needs to be on a
pinch point, travel corridor,
a corner of the field where it bottles out and tips right back right off that point.
And odds are with something like that, you don't even need to because they're already there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but there is a science to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to know what you're doing when you're doing it. You can't just walk out to the woods and slap one up. You know, around here anyway.
But don't be afraid to try it. Don't be afraid to try to start it. Just start it and you'll learn. The more you do it, the more you learn. Just with anything. That's how
I learned. I put one on a little bit of it wasn't a slope or a hill. It had a little bit of a slope to it. It was on the edge of a field.
Yep.
And it had it just kind of gradually did a little bit of that. And there was a nice overhanging branch. And I set it up and there was nothing there. I had deer walk past it, but they weren't using it.
Yep.
And that was the reason why it had a little bit too much. It has to be flat.
All of mine have been on, dominant trails or off to the side of them. It's kind of I'm sure it's a science also. They say dominant bucks will not run
heavy use trails.
A heavy use trail.
Absolutely.
So
not all the time. I think in a rut it might be different, but
right.
The rut, the whole thing is out the door.
Yeah.
It's just free for all.
Yeah, nothing. You got a hot doe and you're in the game. But a lot of times I used to use hodag.
Yeah.
The hemp branches. I had a buddy who worked there for quite a long time.
Jeremy's a good shit.
And I use their stuff, but a lot of my majority of the things that I'm hunting now are all public land, or almost all of it is public land. So it's kind of where I'm kind of trying to hide a little bit.
Right.
I don't want a hemp rope hanging from a branch, or you can't screw anything into a tree on public land anyway. So I go out and I find either those vines, or I'll snip branches from mainly like oak or beech, because even after you snip it off, it'll hold its leaves for a long time.
You cut that on your own land. You bring that out there.
No, well, yeah, I cannot say that I haven't done it in the past. So shame on me.
Beep, beep. Just beeping that out. Beep.
No. I have done that. I definitely have.
100%. Everybody's not.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But no, yep. But I do now, after reading all the rules and regulations, because after a couple of years, someone did tell me that you're not supposed to cut any branches.
Yeah.
And I got down into the forums and I asked on a forum, and everyone just tore me apart. And I was like, oh.
Yeah. Delete.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not me. Yeah. I was asking for a friend.
Yeah. No, we're just gonna delete that. But it's mistakes that I'm sure all of us have made.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is just make sure you look into the rules and regulations. But
but that oak and the beech are the two that
those
I use.
are the 100%. Two. But
then oak leaves stick forever.
But then I also try to get a spot that it's got the main branch, and then it also forks out.
Yep.
On both sides. And I paracord everything, and I tie it in a knot, and then I tie it onto the main branch that I want my scrape to be underneath. And then that branch is free to do whatever. They're not going to break that off.
No, they like it when they can move it around.
So, and then I just usually take one of my sticks, my climbing sticks. I scrape the ground up, I pee in it, and
game's over.
Walk away.
Yep.
I have added scents, added the hodag scent. I've had luck with that. Another one that I've been trying recently is the Black Widow. It's like a gel.
Yep.
So
it's a pre-orbital gel that you can put in the licking branch.
Yep.
Which is kind of nice.
I got buddies that use that.
You think, the gel kind of sticks. I feel would stick a little longer than anything else.
Yeah, the hodag is just a pure liquid, so you squirt it and it just...
Yeah.
But that's a good all-over scent, so that's not just an orbital one. So if it does drip on the ground, hopefully it drips right in the scrape, and then it's kind of a 2-for-1 deal.
Right. But I've had just as much success with not doing anything and just hanging a branch on a trail and
just breaking up that ground and getting that earth scent up.
Yeah,
dirt. For whatever reason it is, the dirt is magic.
They see that branch just hanging there on that trail. They're curious animals. They go and they rub their head on it, and as soon as I get a picture of that, lights out.
I'm done. I'm not going back in there. I want to stay out of there.
Yep.
I don't want to bring my human scent in there.
As much as possible.
Absolutely.
Yep. And then I'm just like, scrape activated. Right.
That's the best feeling.
It is.
When you do that and then you get that first picture and it's usually a doe.
Yeah. It usually is.
But you just get that and you're like, yes, it worked. I got it.
As soon as they touch it, it's
it might take most of the time it takes like a week. For me, it takes like a week or even a week and a half before I get bucks to actually hit it, which I think it just needs that scent to wash away. And I can be as safe as possible, and it still needs that little time. And then it's like you said, it's game on. You get excited.
My favorite time to do it is when it rains.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's dumb as it sounds.
Yeah.
I'd like to do it in the rain. I like to hang my stands in the rain.
I like to,
And I like
to
cameras. Everything in the rain.
If
that's my favorite.
It can rain every day, I want to scout. Yep. Perfect.
And I wear rubber gloves.
Yep.
So I wear that and rubber boots when I make my mock scrapes.
Yep.
I have cases of rubber gloves.
Why?
Don't ask.
Fair enough.
He's getting in the saddle.
Getting in the saddle.
Yeah.
So
new saddle hunter. He just went out and bought a bunch of rubber gloves.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I don't think a lot of people are rubber gloving it up, and
maybe not.
As soon as you touch that hemp, I don't care what you do before you get there. Your hands have oil on them. You just have it, or the truck handle, the steering wheel, everything does. So if I can keep as much of myself out of there, the better.
Yeah.
So I am rubber gloving all the way. So okay, since we just got done saddling and rubber gloving, let's get back to where we left off. Iowa. Kansas buck check, 85-yard bomb.
Yep.
Dropped. Confidence is back. Your
out of state hunting is
cool again.
Cool again. I'm happy.
Bull hunting in general is cool. It takes a toll.
I've definitely shot bucks in between there, obviously with Kansas and in state Wisconsin here. I shot some nice bucks. I got to hunt a buddy's land. It was a young buck. I probably shot a 2.5-year-old, which, I probably should have passed it up, but at that time, it was my biggest bow buck. He was in the tree filming me. We had 2 live decoys in front of us. We had 2 does. We're hunting a food plot in the middle of this, in Brussels, in this big swamp. And we see a buck out in the field, and he spots these does. We didn't have to call him to or anything. You spot these does. He comes barreling right to us. He's right in front of us. I draw back. He runs out 40 some yards. I don't even know what my spot hog set at. I'm looking. I launch an arrow, goes right over his back. He's filming this whole thing because he's trying to range me, and he wasn't even on the deer yet, and he's freaking out. So I get another arrow, and he's just slowly walking this way. I'm like, what's he at? He's like 50. I'm like, okay. So I finally move my arrow, or no, I don't even move my sight. I just look to see what it's at. It was at 35. So I just fucking held it at the top of his back. It was 50 yards, and I fucking heart punched him, and he freaking snow blows right. It was like 126 inches, but it was a 12-pointer.
Oh,
so it split. It was really small and tight and not really heavy, but I was happier and shit. It was awesome. So in between the Kansas hunts, I shot some really nice bucks besides that one in Wisconsin. But then it's Iowa. So I drive down there. I get down there at 10 o'clock. I go to the first property, pull the cards, see some decent bucks, set up the first spot, just random. It looks next to a creek bottom. I see some rubs. I'm next to a CRP field. Didn't even set my decoy up. First night's windy. I'm like, screw it. Let's just see what we see.
Good observation.
I'm in Iowa, dude.
Yeah, I'm in Iowa. This is
going to be sweet.
This is the Mecca.
I'm in the stand for a half hour. The wind dies down a little bit. I do my little intro video because I'm into filming and all this gay shit in my saddle. And I take my black rack. I heard you guys talking about your fucking regular. My black. I did your first podcast. Yeah. My black rack has brought more bucks to my stand than I've ever seen in my life. So you guys can get fucked. I do use regular antlers. I do have a set of regular antlers, but the black racks just compact, really easy.
They're so nice to put in your backpack. They are easy to carry.
It's a fucking Walmart purchase. I'm not a Walmart fan or whatever. You can buy them anywhere, right?
Yeah.
But they're plastic, but they fucking work. Kansas and Iowa, you can rub 2 sticks together.
I was just gonna say
and
that
you can get a deer to come in. But anyways,
how many times did you rattle one in Wisconsin with your black rack?
none.
Okay, just was.
But I've used regular.
I didn't.
I use regular antlers. I use regular antlers more in Wisconsin than I did the black rack, and I've never rattled a deer in Wisconsin ever.
With either.
Ever.
No?
Me neither.
No. But I think it's possible. I've
done a couple in Wisconsin.
Another side tangent, and then we have to really get back to the story. Wisconsin, depending on where you are, southwest states probably of the state or western part of the state is probably completely different than us in the Midwest. But I think decoys, rattling, and grunting, I think they all can work, but it has to be like a fucking perfect moon lineup, solar eclipse. Like it has to line up perfect. Because I've heard guys I've never had it work for me. I've had guys use like doe decoys. I've had guys use buck decoys. I've had guys rattle bucks in, guys grunt bucks in. Grunting has definitely worked in Wisconsin for me, but the other two never worked for Wisconsin for me. But I have heard it worked.
Okay.
But I think it's very situated. It's not like it is down.
Our buck to doe ratio is so far out of whack.
That is exactly it. Yep. There's way too many does to bucks. Yeah, so the bucks are like, fuck this. I don't have to fight for this. Like, I'm going to go with the tail over here.
It's like,
fuck you. What are you guys fighting for?
Like the three of us go to a bar.
Yeah.
And it's ladies' night.
Yeah. Like, what are we fighting for?
Why would I fight this bastard here when I can just wait? I'll let him take the first round, and I'll just sit back, have a couple more beers, and just let them come to me. Why? It's the same principle.
Exactly. It's 100%. 100%. Our buck to doe ratio in Wisconsin is so far.
You go down to Iowa, and you can tell the difference.
Yeah.
Because when that doe is in heat, it's game on.
Yeah, and there's multiple bucks chasing.
Oh, I seen one doe. A little bit of a side tangent. I seen one doe during gun season when I was hunting. Had 9 bucks behind her, biggest to smallest in pecking order. Yep. Run right past me. 9 bucks.
I believe it.
That poor freaking doe. I felt so bad. I almost wanted to shoot her because her mouth. She looked like she's been ran for 3 days.
She has to just submit to the biggest one.
She was gonna.
Who's ever behind her? The first one.
The first one, and it was literally in order. It was a 10, an 8, an 8, an 8, 6, 5, and not shitting you. I didn't know Iowa made these at the time, but there was a spike horn dead last bringing up the tail, and but it was a spike horn that was like that. But there was 9 blind bucks in a row, all on her.
Wow,
it was insane. So it's the same thing,
right? So back to rattling. I was using the black rack, so I rattled. Oh, a side tangent. But bring this up later. Lena area, right down by Lena Swamp. Talk about size of bucks.
Yep.
Just remind me after this story to bring that up because there's a funny story that I got to ask you guys what your opinion is on it. A buddy of mine has a trail cam picture and I just don't understand it. But anyways, so I'm in the stand for a half hour. The wind finally calms down a little bit. I crack these fuckers together, do a little rattling sequence, set them down, and I shit you not, like 2 minutes. I turn around and my first Iowa deer that I've ever seen was a beautiful 125, 130, 35, somewhere around there, 10-pointer. Come up the creek behind me. I turn around, film him the whole time, comes right to the base of my tree, film him the whole time, comes out in front of me. I don't know if he sees a silhouette or something, but he kind of like turns around and looks and sees me up in the tree and kind of just trots off. But I'm like, dude, I've been here a half hour and I had a freaking Wisconsin stud that I would have shot.
Yeah, no doubt.
Come right to the base of my tree. Like, this is awesome, you know? So you'll have to watch the video on YouTube if you want to hear all the stories. But I almost every single time I sat, every property, I saw a booner. Easily. If not a really good shooter, 150 plus. And one property, the one that I saw, that big one that came to the base of my tree, I saw 3 shooters on that property. I probably should have been stupid and I should have just stayed there, but I ended up going to this property and shooting this one. But I had a plane come in. I walked this property, cross a field, jump a fence, and there's like this CRP field. If you picture it, the property is long. There's like in the middle of it, it's kind of like a wetland, a big bowl. It's all timber, and it's cornfield all the way around it. And then there's like a strip of woods down here that's kind of like a little cliff. There's a little bean field, and then there's a strip of woods down to a woods at the very bottom. There's a creek bottom. So this little, and these two bottom fields between that strip is CRP. So I hunted on this edge. I had it picked out on my maps, never scouted it or anything. Walked in there, walked up to that ledge, and I see in the video, you can see it. There's a pine tree that's the size of a fence post, just tore to shit. And I'm like, wow, dude, this is awesome. Setting up my decoy, put my decoy up, put scent on my decoy. I'm a firm
Are you using a
believer.
buck decoy or
Buck decoy?
Buck?
Yep. And I always face the buck towards me.
Yep.
And I try to put it, where the wind is coming at my face, so that buck would want to circle and get in front of him.
Yep.
And so I'm setting up the decoy, put the scent on it. I drop my stuff at the tree first, right? And the tree that I'm going to climb up in. So I go back and I start getting my stuff ready to go up in the tree, and I turn around and I just see a fucking wall of tine standing there, and he just starts bounding away 30 yards from my decoy.
He was already there.
180 plus.
Oh.
Probably I don't even know what it was. I would say maybe a typical 10, typical 12, but he was fucking huge. Biggest buck I've ever seen in my life. And I'm just standing there on my tree, and he's running across the field. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm screwed. Like, this sucks, Climb up in the stand. I think it was that evening. I had a big 8-pointer, and it's different than the one. They're all white racks at this property. It's different than the one that came to my tree later. But I'm sitting there, and this buck is across the field in that timber by that creek, across the CRP field, and I have my decoy out, and I'm grunting and rattling, and he's over there, and I film him, and it's probably like 150, 200 yards away, so my iPhone's zoomed in. It's kind of grainy, but you can see his rack plain as day, just beating the shit out of this dead tree, just tearing it up, scraping the ground, rubbing the tree, just thrashing. And finally, after calling to him a bunch of times, he finally starts making his way across the CRP field. My decoy's over here. I'm sitting in this tree, and he's way over here, cutting across. And it's getting dusk. And he's cutting across, and he gets to this point. And I don't know if he knew my decoy was there yet or not. And I don't know if he went to got a wind of me, so I don't know what happened. But he stopped, and he looked, and he got spooked, and he just bound back to kind of where he came. Beautiful big 8-pointer, probably 140, 145. Huge. So I'm like, I seen a lot of deer activity over there. So the next day I go over there. While I was set up, I had does all over the fucking place, and all of a sudden this big ass fucking, I think he was an 8-pointer, maybe had like a little nub of a 9, makes a circle, and I'm sitting in the saddle facing my tree. A doe's right in front of me. He comes behind me. I'm turned around my saddle with my phone like this, filming him. He's walking. It's so cool in the video because it's so crystal clear on that phone. He comes up, he passes a tree, he literally stops in his tracks, turns around, goes sniff that tree, and just
hammers on it.
Like he smelled something on a tree, and he just turned around. It was so cool. And then all of a sudden he comes, jumps this little fence, and you can hear him go burr, like grunting at these does. He comes up, and he's literally like right under my tree, and I'm filming him like this, and he stops, looks up, and just puts his head back down. Like he knew something was off on the corner of his eye, but he couldn't see me. He put his head down, and he started going back this way. You can hear me. I think the phase 4 at that time, I think. It must have. I drew it back, and it like kind of, the cams kind of clicked. You know how they creak once in a while? I drew back on that fucker. Like I was really close to shooting him, and he's quartering away. It was perfect. And then I kind of let down. I'm like, yeah, I shouldn't pass him up, but he was a stud, 150 inches.
Huh.
Takes off. And then, so I left that property, and did I hunt another property? I don't know if I hunted another property or not. But anyways, I hunted this property where this buck was at. I knew he was on camera. I hunted a different part of the farm, saw a small buck and a doe. The next day, or no, that was the morning. The next middle of the day, I went over there and hunted this one spot. And it's November 6th. I'm almost like probably a week into my hunt now with all these days. I'm getting drug out. I even said it in the afternoon. I saw a bunch of small bucks, a bunch of does. And I just had a feeling I had to stay in this tree. I'm on the very north end. It's all CRP, thick grass, and it's like a bottleneck creek bottom with all thick slashings and grasses. And I hunted that afternoon, saw those small bucks and does. I'm going to hunt it in the morning. And in my intro, like in my video, like you can watch it, I was like, man, I miss my wife. I miss my kids. Like I've been home, kind of homesick, How
long have you been down there?
Maybe a week, if that.
Are you on a time crunch as far?
No, not really.
Okay. You don't have to be back.
I don't have to be at
okay.
home, and I talked to my wife the night before, and I'm like, I'm going to get it done tomorrow morning. I have a good feeling, And I got there in the morning. It was beautiful, crisp morning. Like it's a little foggy. You could see your breath, and my wind was coming straight out of the west. So it was going east. I came in from the east, used the e-bike. So I parked on the road, drove all the way up the east side of the property, came into the north, came across to the west. And I get up in there, and it was like right at daybreak. I see some does out in the field. Like I'm almost right on the property line, basically. And I see some does out in the field, and all of a sudden I hear crashing behind me where I came in. Two does bust out, and I hear a buck grunting right behind me. And it was like a deeper grunt, You can tell the difference between once you hear a mature buck grunt, you're like, holy fuck, dude,
you're instantly grabbing it. There's no better feeling than that.
And it was this was like a medium, like he could have been a good buck, and I don't know. But I never saw the buck because it was right downwind of me. He might have just turned around after he chased those does, turned around and got out of there. And I was sitting there, and it was probably like 6:45, 7 o'clock. And all of a sudden across this ravine, I can't see very well, but I can pick between trees. But I hear a bunch of chasing, and I hear like 3 deep fucking grunts, like deep grunts, like brr, like growls. And I'm like, oh, dude, that's a buck. So I let out a couple grunts, didn't hear anything at all. I didn't want to overcall. Yep. I just wanted to sit there and wait. And all of a sudden, like to my left, it's a really thick bush, and then it kind of opens up into this like taller CRP grass and some pine trees, and I see a deer walking like 50 yards south of me. It was this guy. I pull up my binos. I saw those stickers off his G2, and I knew him from the trail camera picture right away. I'm like, I knew exactly what buck it was, but he was going straight to that scrape. He's going straight east. That scrape was like southeast of me, probably like 100 yards. And I was like, well, I'm going to snort wheeze at him. So I snort wheezed. I turned back. He stopped in his tracks, fucking made a beeline. Just started walking real slow. I circled it on the video because it's hard to see through the brush. Circled real slow, came to this tree, was standing 15 yards from me behind the tree. And I'm like, I didn't know which way he was going to go. I'm cocked and ready and loaded, And all of a sudden I'm like, well, if he comes this way, I'm going to have a 10-yard shot. I got a small window. I'm going to have to make it quick. Or if he comes this way, I'm going to have to make it quick too. So either way, it is what it is. So all of a sudden, he committed to one side. I freaking drew, and I stopped him. And my camera, so I was sitting in like a split tree, and my camera, I couldn't get my camera out or closer to the tree than I could, and I'm already hanging over here. And I drew back, and I remember my camera focusing in on my bow and not the deer. So I kind of moved it, and then when I drew back and that deer, I stopped him, I fucking focused on my bow and not my deer. You can still see it, but it's blurry. You can see my lighted knock. But he was 10 yards, not even 10 yards from me, quartering towards me. I put it through the top of his shoulder bone, went right through him, double lunged him, smoked his heart, and broke ribs on both sides, and then stuck out this side. I didn't know that at the time because as soon as I hit him, he spun 90 degrees and took off running, and my arrow fell right away. I'm like, fuck, I didn't get penetration. Like, what the hell? And all of a sudden, he takes off in the video, and you can see him. He does this loop, and then all of a sudden, I thought I saw him crash. So I start freaking out in the video. I cry. I thank the Lord above for blessing me this year. I'm like, I already shot one in Kansas. I just shot a giant in Iowa. I think I saw him, dropped. I'm like, thank you, Lord. I called my wife up. I'm like, she's kind of irritated because the kids are being assholes, and they didn't go to school yet, so it was before school. I'm like, you remember this big buck that I had on camera with the split, G2s? They had kickers off of them, and I'm like, I think I just saw him pile up. So I get down from the stand, I go look at the arrow, and I'm like, I don't think I have a lot of penetration. And I walk up to it, and I pick up my arrow, and it's like half of it snapped off. I'm like, dude, that's a fucking dead deer.
Yep.
I'm like, maybe there's not going to be a lot of blood because I don't know if it was a pasture or not. Instantly see blood. And I'm like, oh shit, this is awesome, So I start tracking it, and he does a loop there. So I didn't really follow the whole blood the whole way, but there's this little knoll, and it's all thick briars and nasty shit. I get over this little knoll, and I could just see his ass laying there. He probably went 60 yards, and I walk up to it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is
Wasn't ground shrinkage?
This is way bigger than I thought it was. Like I was telling you guys early, like I talked to a buddy of mine. I sent him trail camera pictures. He's really big in the hunting industry. And he was like, it's probably like a 140-inch 8-pointer with all the stickers. It might be mid 150s. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I was thinking, you know, but I was happy with them. You know, that's by far the biggest buck I ever shot. It looked awesome. And then I walked up to him and I grabbed him. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, this is way bigger than 150. Like this is huge. And he ended up being... I measured him at like 172 and some change. Officially scored. He gross scored at 170 and 3/8, I think it was. 158 inches, 158 and 5/8 as a mainframe 8-pointer.
Wow.
It's unreal. Yeah. So I'm on cloud 9, right? And I'm in Iowa by myself. I got buddies like my buddy and his wife, but they were hunting too, and I didn't want to.
Yeah, you don't want to take.
They're a little bit older. They're a little bit older than me, and I didn't want to take away from their hunt. And I didn't want them to have come help me. So this kind of like talking about heavy deer.
Yeah.
This is by far the biggest deer I've ever shot in my life, and it was huge. So I drove my truck all the way through a CRP field. Luckily, I have a Quiet Cat cart.
Yep.
So I gutted him out right there. I tagged him, gutted him out, but I only had to go not even 50 to 80 yards, and I was in my fucking underwear. And it was November, and I was sweating my ass off, going through going through briar bushes and over logs, and just I was cut up head to toe.
It's like 3 feet stop. It's like backwards drag.
Oh yeah, and thankfully that cart definitely did help. Like if I had to drag him, that would have sucked. And thankfully my GMC has that freaking drop down tailgate where it's the step, because I don't think I would have ever got him in my truck. No fucking way.
You had to have a rope on a tree and lift it.
Yeah, I would have had to do some kind of pulley system, you know, and pull it in like that. But yeah, it was absolutely unbelievable. So I went back to my buddy's cabin that I was staying at, and I took video and photos and did all that stuff. And then I'm like, well, on the way down, I bought a Missouri tag.
Does your wife know about that?
Off the record? No, she did not. She didn't know I bought a Missouri tag, but I did just in case. Because I'm only a half hour from the border.
If you punch early, you were already there.
That's what my mindset was, and I was still a part of this leasing program, right?
Yeah, that you paid for.
I don't know if I told you that. Like, I found out that I was one of 2 bow hunters that drew for Zone 5 in that program.
That whole thing.
So the whole thing, because most guys go for muzzleloader because you have to get it every 2 years.
Yep.
So they're like, I'd rather do that than wait 6 years with the bow, right? And so it was me and my buddy's wife were the only ones that drew archery tags. So I had 6,000 acres all to myself. So that's why I was bouncing around so much.
Right.
And I had so many encounters with big bucks.
Well, and it's like you get all these pictures on camera, and you sit here and you're constantly like, man, I'm sitting here. I wonder what is going on over there. Then you go over here. Then you stand hop.
Yeah.
Then you go over here.
The funny thing is, though, when I got down there, I took all my cameras down. I didn't leave them up because I didn't want that to happen. I didn't want to be sitting in one spot and be like, because I already knew this guy was over there. Right. I already had that. And I knew I had some other bucks and I knew we're in Iowa. It doesn't matter where I sit. Those bucks travel so much, you know? So I took them all down, and it was just playing by chance. But I think moving around a lot helped me so much. You know, it's sitting in a fresh spot seems like it's the best time to sit, you know?
That first time in there is your best time.
And I saw a lot of really good bucks. So it works. So I did that, register them, did all that. I actually ran into the meat locker that day because it was a little bit warmer out for a November day. Ran into a meat locker, and I looked on my login, and I'm like, well, what properties aren't taken in northern Missouri? You know, I would have to look back. I don't even remember what county it was in. I'll have to look back. But I can show you the pin on my Onyx. I picked up one property. It was like literally a CRP field, and it was just fence lines. That was it. I'm like, well, it's not, nobody logged in for this one, so I saved it. The very next morning, went in there blind. Ran all the way down to the south end. It was I think it was like north wind, and it was kind of, there was like a creek bottom right behind me. I sat up right on this little point. There's this big tree that was right on this point that stuck out in the CRP field, and the neighboring fence line was onto my right, which would have been the east side. And I put my decoy out in front of me, got up there like an hour before light, super early. I don't even know if I was going to get any shooting. I know I'm on the edge of a CRP, so I have some shooting, but behind me, I have no idea.
Yeah.
So I get up in the tree, and it's before it even broke light, I heard deer running around the creek bottom behind me. I'm like, oh man, dude, this, and I hear grunting, you know, I'm like, oh, sweet, dude.
I'm in it.
Yeah.
I'm in it.
I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to see a shooter or not, you know, Missouri's hit or miss sometimes. especially in northern Missouri, you probably have a better chance, right?
Yep.
And I'm sitting there and it's like daybreak, and all of a sudden I see a giant buck on the fence line, on the other side of the fence line with a doe. And I did everything I could. I rattled, I grunted, I didn't even phase him. Didn't give two shits.
No.
Beautiful buck. Not as big as this one, but a really big buck. And he went off with that doe. I would say 2 other times I was grunting or rattling. I had deer just bust out of the woods behind me. Just bucks just come out screaming. And they weren't like, they were nice bucks for around here, like some of these, you know, like I wasn't going to shoot them, whatever.
Right.
And down in Missouri. And all of a sudden, I'm sitting there and it's like 7 something in the morning. And this doe comes running down this fence line. She stops and looking behind her. And I'm thinking it's a big one behind her again. I'm like, oh yeah, come on. And all of a sudden this buck pops out, and I could tell it was a good buck. He had really big G2 on one side, and he was like normal on the other side, but he's really good frame, everything. And he's following this doe. And I'm like, screw it. You know, I'm going to set out some grunts, you know? So I let out a couple of grunts, I tickled the black racket together a little bit, and he stopped on that fence line, and he just stared. And I didn't want to make any more noise and just let him sit there and stare because I knew he saw the decoy.
Seen it.
He looked up at that doe. He looked back at the decoy, put his head down, jumped the fence, and he's making a beeline right down the fence line.
He's coming right to
the wood line. I'm like, holy crap, dude. And now I can tell this buck's a good buck, you know. He hits a licking branch, and he just starts, now he's not trotting anymore. He's just like steadily walking, you know.
Getting bigger and bigger and bigger as he's coming.
Yep. And he gets right in front of me, and it was almost 2-quartering to me, so I didn't want to take a shot. And I had my camera set up facing this one spot, and I had my GoPro going, and he comes in, and my scent trail from putting that decoy up and walking to that, he was trying to cut in front of that, and I couldn't get a shot. He had to step like 5 more feet. He must have got a whiff of it or something. He turned around and bound 5-10 yards back to where he came, and it stopped perfectly in that camera frame, and I was already drawn back. I shoulder punched him right behind the front shoulder. He took off. He was snow plowing through the CRP field and frickin' just bloop right over the fence, like just got caught up in the barbed wire and died. You could hear him. It makes a loud roar and dead right there.
Oh, shit.
142-inch 9-pointer.
Back to back.
Back-to-back days.
So the first question is, how did you not get pissed up the night when you shot that?
The people that I was hanging with don't drink that much. They don't drink at all.
That saved you right there.
That did save me.
Because if me and you would have been there,
I would have been fucked.
We would have been tying it on. Because I would have been drunk too, just to celebrate. Because that's
don't get me wrong. Like I definitely had some mixed drinks, but I didn't get like too shit faced like I would normally would. Because I would definitely, that was by far my biggest buck I have ever. That 8-pointer wasn't the biggest buck from Kansas that I shot, but probably the biggest frame. He was 18 inches wide. Like he had a really big frame. So I was happy with that. And then shooting this, like. It's going to be a really hard to top this. I'm not saying I'm not, because I'm definitely going to, but I was on fucking cloud 9.
Oh yeah.
Like I was so happy with like, and then all of a sudden shoot 142. I didn't know how big he was, but I knew he was a good buck, that Missouri deer. And I'm like, that's insane. The next day.
So back to back.
So then I drop him off at the other meat processing plant, because I'm like, dude, I'm not cutting this up on myself. Screw this. I'm going to go have fun. Yeah. I'm going to have some cocktails and screw this. It's hot out. So that all happens, right? I shot 3 bucks. Everybody's going crazy. All my friends are happy, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to make this short because this has been a long podcast. We're already 2 hours and 18 minutes in, but I haven't shot a buck up in Pembine. It's a family cabin. There's not a lot of big bucks up there. I shot a buck in 2012, the year I got married. I bought a duplex, and I got married in the same year and bought a brand new truck. And I went up north, and I shot a freaking beautiful 115, 120-inch 9-pointer. Biggest buck anybody's ever shot in camp up there.
Yep.
I was so happy. And so I haven't pulled the trigger since 2012, mind you. I go up there, never scouted, never pre-scouted, just pick something on the maps. We live on a horseshoe kind of area close to the tracks. Take the tracks 2 miles down, cut in the woods through some, I can see on the topo maps where the bottlenecks or stuff. Find some giant rubs, find some scrapes. I'm like, perfect. This is the Friday before opening gun hunting. Haul my blind in there, a ground blind. I set it up with like a bog pod, a nice comfy chair. I'm like, I'm going to camp here with a bunch of food. I'm just going to chill out all day and
relax.
Just relax.
Yeah.
Overlooking this little bottleneck. Put up a mock scrape, and just for shits and giggles, 7 o'clock opening morning, all of a sudden I hear the only deer I ever saw all of a sudden I hear coming down from the ridge right in front of me, and I just see a rack. I'm like, done deer. I'm gonna kill him. I bring my scope up. Oh, hit a bottle. Bring my scope up, and for some reason he stops right in his track because he sees my blind. He knows it's not normal. Like that doesn't look right.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have it brushed in or anything. Right. Stops in his tracks, and it's too late. I had my crosshairs right in his chest, dropped him right there. I text everybody, like my whole family. I'm like, oh, just dropped one. And they're like, you motherfucker, you lucky horseshoe son of a bitch. Like you already shot enough. Like I said, like we don't shoot bucks. We shoot bucks up there, but they're like forks and spikes and 6-pointer. We shoot 8-pointers. My grandpa has really good luck of shooting deer up there, but nothing like crazy big. That fucker's gonna fall. And yeah, so I shoot an 8-pointer. It's not big by any means. He probably scored like maybe 100 inches.
Don't even matter.
But I could tell by the way the deer looked.
How's that?
She's falling. You have to loosen it. I'll just hold on to it until you get it.
A little technical.
You have to loosen it up and then tighten it probably.
You have to probably just slide it in.
Yeah. So I could tell by the way the buck looked, he was probably a little bit older, but he was a really small rack, a little bit of mass to him, but nothing big. Like we have good bucks on camera up there. We do every year. We get on our mock scrape. Like I turn my
one or two.
I turn my grandpa on a mock scrapes, and every year, every single scrape that he puts up, he gets one big buck on. Like they're up there. They're just really hard to find. It's all timber. There's no egg land. Really hard to pattern.
It's almost patterning is almost impossible.
It is. Is that gonna be good? That's gonna fall off.
Oh my goodness.
And
what did we do here?
What did we do here? I didn't touch it. I swear. Maybe it will stay.
Saddle hunter. It ain't gonna stay. It's gonna swing all the way towards the
Oh my goodness!
What kind of cheap shit do you buy here?
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
We just cut
Menards.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. But anyways, I shot that buck, which was awesome. Family was happy. Everybody. I mean, some of them were probably pissed, but they're whatever. And but I gunned it out, cut the bottom jaw off, and I gave it to two guys that are really respectable at aging deer. Without showing them the deer or anything, I just gave them the bottom jaw. And I said, age this deer. What do you think this deer's aged at? And both of them came back at 3.5, at least, if not 4.5 years old. And then I showed them a picture of the deer. And they're like, yeah, I believe it. I mean, it's up in Pembine. Like, but definitely. So I think being up there, the age class, that you definitely can get some bucks that have really good genetics. Yeah, go ahead. No, it's all wrapped up on that thing.
Oh. Yeah, we're killing it.
Yeah.
It's the age. We kind of touched on that on one of the other podcasts too. It's all about where you kill it.
100%. I think definitely there's genetics up there, and you're gonna get good bucks on camera and stuff. But you're also gonna get bucks that are a little bit older, that their racks don't look like they're an older deer.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, that's just the way it is up there.
Yeah, and it's the way it all.
They're eating browse and pine saplings and shit all winter. They don't have
there's
egg
no food.
fields.
No, there's no egg. We touched base with that. Even like around here, there is a little bit more egg.
I think we're good right there.
And we still don't.
Make sure we're tight.
We still don't get that structure like you get down south, but it's a lot of it too is due with the breeding of the bucks, like we had touched on before, was that them smaller bucks do a lot of the breeding because there's so many does.
Right.
You know, all these mature bucks don't get to breed them all. You know, you're getting a small portion of it.
100%.
The rest of it's just a free for all for whoever's available, because that doe has to get bred.
Yep.
She's got a time frame, and that's it. So if it's him or that, it is what it is.
Yep. 100% agree. Yeah. So that's the wrap on my 2023 season.
That's insane.
It's crazy.
I don't think you could ask for a better season.
No, I don't think I'm ever going to top that season.
I don't know if I'll ever come close to a season like that.
I never thought I would even shoot one buck out of state of that size and then have a successful year where you shoot 4 different bucks. Like that's not going to happen again. I mean, unless I retire, maybe. But
yeah.
Like there's the chances of going down there only for a couple of days of shooting a buck in Kansas and then shooting this one, and then the very next day just happen to hop over the fence. Like that's not going to happen again. Like,
it's
very rare.
All the stars aligned for you, and that was your year. You were doing.
I think God taught me a lesson. Like the first couple of years of missing that buck, and then going a couple of years with having close calls but not getting a shot off. I think he was, definitely teaching me, because in my head I'm like, I have to do this. It's in my blood. Like this is what I want. I wanted it so bad. I think he was just teaching me like, dude, you need patience in your life right now.
Okay.
Like you got to take a step back and look at this differently, you know, and realize, enjoy what's around. Don't be so eager to shoot a buck, and enjoy the scenery and the wildlife and everything else, and the camaraderie and everything else that's around you. Cause I do know that that's important in my head. You know, I do enjoy the camaraderie and all that stuff, but to actually take a step back and realize it and think about it and just close your eyes and breathe in the fresh air or anything like that. Like I think he taught me that. And then he was like, all right, now it's your time. Like, here you go.
Yep.
Like, holy shit.
One of the best things of advice that I was ever given when I was super young into bow hunting was the kill is the 10%.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
The 90% is everything else.
The journey.
The journey to
everything.
get to that point.
And it's even this right here, you know.
Yep.
Without archery, this would have never happened for any of us here.
No.
Yep.
You know, we would have never met each other, or Mike and I would have ended up on another job together again, but you know, you and I would have never met.
Right.
You know, through archery, I've been presented so many other opportunities to meet great people, and that's the rest of it.
Yeah.
Killing big bucks is pretty badass. I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
It's a little bit of fun.
You know,
yeah.
I can't. There's not a whole lot of memories that I hang up on my wall, but big bucks, those go on the wall every time.
Yeah.
But that's only a fraction of what all of this is really about.
Absolutely.
But all those memories come with that when you're hanging on the wall.
Exactly.
Any of these things, you know, you're going to remember.
There's a story. I can tell you.
Exactly.
I can tell you an awesome story for every single one.
Exactly.
Like that second one in on the right there. I had one picture of that deer. One. In velvet on my food plot. One. And I killed him on November 8th.
Really?
Coming to a mock scrape that I made on a branch. And I had it was one of those days where I was sitting and I skipped work and I called in sick that day.
Oh.
And my brother was hunting and I sat, it was like 9:45 and the entire time my phone's ringing and the first thing I'm thinking of is I got to get back to work. I'm not enjoying it because my phone's ringing. I'm not taking it all in.
Yep.
You know, I'm not indulging in it. I'm sitting there. I'm thinking, crap, I got to do this. I got to do this. I got this to do. I shouldn't be here. And which is terrible because I put in more than my fair share of time at work. There's no doubt. And when I get out there now, I take it in because you never know when it's going to be your last sit.
Exactly.
So, you know, whatever age you are, you don't know. So I when I'm in there, I'm locked in. So that buck stepped out and I texted my brother. I'm like, I'm 5 more minutes. I'm going to go. He's like, no, just give it 30 more. What's 30 more minutes? Sure enough, about 15 minutes later, I looked up and here he's standing there right in my food plot. And he's walking right. He comes right to my mock scrape. I torched him at 17 yards. He went 40 and died right on the 2-track that I drive right in.
That's awesome.
You know, so it was crazy. It's one of those things where you take it for granted that, you know, it can happen just like that.
Yep.
And then your whole season for everything you do comes together.
Yeah.
So
because you can beat yourself up, like we talked about that earlier, where like you miss a deer or you screw up or you don't get an opportunity. Like the year prior to me shooting all these, like I was on my way home and I was like in tears driving home. Like, how can I fail? Like, I feel like I'm an educated hunter. I feel like I'm doing everything right. How can I fail at this? Like, I know I can do better. And I'm going to a state that, you know, I should be shooting at least something. And I called my wife and I'm teared up and my wife was like, turn around. She's like, go back down there. Go for another week. Go shoot something. I don't want you to come home like this. And I'm like, no, I got to get back to work. You know, I'm thinking all this stuff in my head. And I beat myself up so bad. And I wasn't thinking about all the other stuff that I should have been enjoying and learned on that hunting trip rather than sitting there complaining that I didn't get anything.
I've been on a lot of hunting trips. I mean, a lot of them. I mean, I went down by Austin last year, and I went into it with a different mindset. As you keep doing hunts, I hunt out of state a lot every year. I love killing big bucks, and there's not the bucks here that I want to kill. Yeah, so I go elsewhere.
100%.
So last year, when I went down, I had a completely different mindset. Killing a buck was going to be a bonus for me. going down there and hanging out in the camaraderie and seeing the bucks and hanging sets and doing all of it was the hunt.
Yep.
The killing was the bonus. I didn't kill. I could have shot some really nice bucks, but I wanted a hammer. I wanted a buck that got me on that podcast.
Yeah.
I wanted to be that guy. And I was going to sacrifice my tag for anything except that. That was it.
Yep.
That's what I'm holding out for. I've shot tons
Studs.
I've shot studs. I've shot tons of deer. I want one that them guys are going to be like, dude, get on here and tell your story. It's a freaking hammer.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted.
Yep.
And to go to their studio where they did theirs and meet everybody for the first time and just hang out was worth it, hands down.
Yeah, worth every minute.
You've been there. You've seen them guys. It's unreal.
Awesome group of guys to hang out with.
Yeah, it's so like-minded. It's crazy. And that's why I keep saying, the like-minded people like you and how we met.
And they all love each other. Like they're like, dude, you walk in and you're one of their buddies.
Oh,
like,
there's no doubt.
They treat you with so much respect and they'll give you a beer. And they give you a nasty shot. Whatever.
That is so freaking bad.
Malort.
Oh my God. We forgot to talk about that, but that's a whole nother deal. But like when you go down there, like I have known Austin for a couple of years now, 2 or 3, and it's crazy that like we got invited down to go to the pre-show Friday night before when they were doing the unveiling of the video series. Yeah. So Austin's like, when you coming down? I said, me and Grayson are coming down Friday night. You got to come to the studio. You have to come there. There's going to be like 20 of us, 25 of us. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Or he's like, absolutely. Just come down here. It's going to be awesome. I'm like, all right. So Bucky was there and Randy and all them guys. And I pulled in and there's 40 cars there, So I'm like, holy crap. So I walk in there and I open the door and everybody's like talking and whatever. And everybody turns around, looks, and everybody's waving, hey, how's it going? This and that. And, it's just like, you're welcome right in. You think you're feeling out of place.
Right.
But you're not.
Right.
Because you're just one of the same people that are in passion for the same thing. Yep. And it was crazy. It was just different. Not to mention there was at least a minimum of 8 bearded gingers there. Just like myself. It was like a freaking unicorn party. And it was awesome because Grayson, even my son's even like, Dad, everybody's got a red beard. Austin's got one, and then I don't know how many there was, but there was a lot of them. There was way more, and it was just the likeness of everybody is just overwhelming. Yeah, so to be a part of that was crazy. Yeah, so it's awesome. It's all a part of the journey.
Yeah, it's definitely all of it. I know exactly what you were talking about with the whole, like, it didn't happen because it just probably wasn't ready for you. Because I remember when I started I wanted to do the whole YouTube thing. And I did not have the right perspective of it whatsoever of trying to do it. And I had an original partner. And I want to say, like, our first sit together, we, like, filmed him shooting a hammer. And for here in Wisconsin, northeastern Wisconsin. And then, it was kind of checked out on his end. And then so now I'm kind of solo. And I remember like telling my wife, like, yeah, like, no shit. Like, I've had this dream for years and years, and I finally do it. And then I get a partner and film this, and yep, good to go. They're done. Like, see ya. And it wasn't exactly like that, but that's definitely what it felt like at the time.
It wasn't what you had dreamed it to be. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't that.
But then, so now I'm self-filming a lot of the times, and I'm kind of down in the dumps. And I won't get into, like, this whole hunt or whatnot, because we're definitely.
Oh,
we're doing pretty good on time. But, so, like, I just went down to Missouri. I got invited to go on to this lease to hunt, and I just had like an awful hunt the whole time. Like, I derailed my bow.
Oh, jeez.
Going the drawback on this deer this like one day, and Like, I can't even tell you what else. It's on the Midwest Archer YouTube channel. Like, Missouri's Quest for Redemption is what I named it, because everything went wrong. If it could have gone wrong, I messed it up. And I remember just sitting there and talking to my wife one night, just being like, man, like, I was like, I don't have any expectations anymore. You know, I'm just going to go. I'm going to sit. You know, I've gone on some other, not out-of-state hunts, but I've gone and, like, paid to go on hunts through outfitters and haven't had any success ever. And then she had just said something to me like, you know, I think you just need to, like, you need to figure your shit out, dude, and just start, like, enjoying this.
Yeah.
She's like, this is the only thing you do now is you shoot your bow and you bow hunt. She's like, figure out how to enjoy.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
Yeah.
Figure out how to enjoy it or just don't do it anymore. And I remembered sitting there in the stand that morning. And, like, I kept really thinking about what she had said to me of figure it out and enjoy it or just don't do it anymore. And I had made a move. I think this was like my second or third sit in this tree, just because I watched a lot of deer movement through there. I talk about it in the video where I pull up my maps and I'm like, oh, I've been sitting here, but, like, you know, this is where the traffic is, so I'm going to go set up here, and I talk about why. A complete novice. I have no idea other than, like, deer are moving there, so I want to go there.
Right.
You know, I have no strategy other than I have seen deer move there. And it wasn't my first bow buck, but it was my second bow buck. And it, like, that buck just came in and did exactly everything that I said I wanted a deer to do.
It did.
It just did it. And then ever since then on out, and this is where I kind of took a hiatus from, you know, after this from filming. I did film an Alaskan bear hunt that never got uploaded and some turkey stuff. Ever since then, I was like, you know, I really need to, I took this way too hard on myself for filming. And this episode isn't out yet. It's done now. I finally finished editing it. But Mike and I had gone on and talked about whether you should or should not film your hunts.
Yeah.
And for me at that time, it was not the time to be filming hunts at all. There was just so much pressure I put on myself. And I think, like you said, you know, the fall for me, whether it obviously is not the right time frame, but that's where I am most in tune spiritually. You know, I'm most in touch with God in the fall, in a tree specifically. You know, that's my time to reflect. That's not, you know, I'll say that's not the right answer by no means. You know,
it's not the wrong answer though either.
No, it's not. You know,
reflection can happen anywhere. It doesn't have to be there.
You hate to just be like, oh yeah, well it's fall now, and
I
I have a lot of free time sitting here thinking, you know, I should definitely reflect and appreciate the opportunities I've been given in my life, and give thanks to God for that more often than not. But, you know, that was definitely a lesson that I took from that hunt, and it just kind of worked out that year that, you know, I might have been presented with that through kind of a lesson of like,
same thing.
Right.
Yep.
You know, mine came with success in the beginning, you know, rather than not, but you never know how it works.
Yeah,
you know.
I totally get that too with filming. I went through that. I used to film a lot, and then I kind of went through the same thing. Like, what am I doing this for? It's not working.
Right.
I kind of just took a step back and tried to regroup, and I totally understand it, 100%.
And there's so much pressure involved with it. You know, we've discussed it in the past, but it's cool to get another angle on it from someone who has had success in the social media realm, even though you said you have one video.
Well, I put my son went to Kansas last year and shot his very first buck ever. Okay. That's a short film. I think I put it all together at like 13 minutes, but I put that up there too, and it doesn't have many views, but I thought it was really cool to have my son's first buck on there. So
awesome. Exactly.
But those are the two videos I have up at right now.
Yeah, but there's just too much pressure involved with this sometimes, especially when you're if you're not there yet, if you haven't made it, you feel like you have to make it.
Yeah.
But this is something that, like, it seems like right now more than everyone's got a
Everybody has a
4K
YouTube
camera
channel. Yeah,
in their
everybody has a
pocket.
YouTube channel.
Everyone has a YouTube channel. Everyone's putting content out. Everyone feels the pressure. More and more people now are getting busted for illegally tagging or baiting or poaching or whatnot, just for fame. And it's just such the wrong.
Yeah, if you go about it the right way, I think there's definitely benefits to it. If you go in the mindset like, I want to be YouTube famous, you're going into it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
The only reason why I started filming again is because this is another point I was going to bring up, not to cut you off on your story or anything, but I joined this group called Apex Outdoor Rewards. It's a basically like a hunting tournament.
Yep. Yeah, I've seen the ads for.
I highly recommend it, and I could get you guys hooked up. But I'm a part of their group now, and I join it every year. If I would have joined for Kansas, Iowa, and Missouri, I would have probably won money in all 3 states. But I took first place in 2023 with this Iowa deer by a long shot, and I won first place. You win a big cash, and then I also submitted my trail camera photo of that deer on a Tacticam, and their contingency was $2,500, and I won first place in that too. Wow. So I won over like $3,000.
No shit.
And it was only like $150 to sign up. And all you have to do, so the first year when I first signed up, they send you a little handy cam.
Yep.
They send you tape, and they send you like a bow mount for your handy cam if you actually want to, and then your entry fee. So I got all that. Never used a camera. I just used my phone. So that's kind of what got me back into it. It's fun. Like, you don't have to film a whole hunt. You have to film like a little intro. You got to film your scenery. You got to film the shot. It doesn't necessarily have to be on film, but you have to get the deer at least coming in.
Yeah.
If your shot's not on film, it's not a huge deer. And then the recovery, and then you taping the rack later. Super simple, super easy, super affordable. Like, some of those other big hunting things are super expensive.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you look at Quest,
and
it's like a 2-man team. If you look at any state, you got to be shooting a 180 plus, and your partner has to be shooting over 200 to even place in the top 5. Like, it's ridiculous. Yeah. This is completely opposite. Last year, I won a trip to Oklahoma that I went on, ended up through a guide. I didn't shoot anything, had a great time, super awesome. Loved it so much. The camaraderie, the guy down there was awesome. I actually joined another raffle 2 weeks ago and won the fucking hunt again. So I'm going back down there. Not this year. I'm going to wait until next year because I don't have anything planned next year. But anyways, if I would have shot something decent in Oklahoma, I would have won first place last year. The guy that won Wisconsin last year only shot like 116 inch. He won $700. The guy that shot in Kansas shot 120 inch or 115 inch and won first place, won $700. The guy that shot in Iowa, there wasn't even a buck shot in Iowa last year, I don't think. There's entries, so there's nobody that won. Like,
so that pot will just probably roll over till
that contingency. The first 3 spots, it's so cool. You have to go look online how it's structured out, but it's not just depending on how many people sign up in that state. They pay out for like random 8-pointers, random 10-pointers, first 5 spots, and then like if there's like 600 people, like if you have like a crap ton of people that sign up for that state, like the first place could get like $2,500.
Wow.
Like the payout and the structure of it is super cool, super simple. It's cheap, but I could probably get Kobe, the guy that runs the program, through them on the podcast too, possibly.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
But yeah, maybe give us a little discount, something, signing up maybe. Shout out something to them. But yeah, that's what I want. So that's kind of what got me back into filming. I wasn't filming it to be YouTube famous. Yeah. So I filmed all of it in Iowa anyways, just for that reason. And when I was done, I'm like, well, I got all this footage, and I showed people. They're like, dude, you got to put a YouTube video together. I'm like, I never put a fucking YouTube video together. I literally did it on my phone on a video editing app.
Yep.
On my phone, not even on a computer, which I'm into a computer now and do all it on my computer, but did it on my phone literally in an hour and a half. It was like over an hour video. I had to crop it down. It's still at 45 minutes. It's a lot of talking because I like to explain shit.
Yep.
But it's also a lot of footage of good deer, which a lot of people skip over. They just go to the kill, right?
Yeah.
Which is sweet too. But like I posted it and it literally blew up. Like I didn't advertise it. I didn't do anything.
Yep.
I got over 230,000 views on it. Like I don't know how that happened. I just, you know, it is what it is, right? I'm still not trying to be YouTube famous. I could give two shits less.
Yeah, right.
But it's the cool thing about filming, even if you have a phone on your bow or a Tacticam or whatever you're using, or if you're actually using a real camera, just to see that shot placement.
Yep, that's huge.
Because you're always second guessing. We just talked about that before. You're always second guessing on what you did right after it happened. I don't know exactly where the fuck I hit that. Like, I thought I smoked it, but maybe I didn't. You know, to play that back and to see that and to share it with your friends and family. Like, that's so cool. Like, to pull it up at the shop here, like, put it up on the screen, be like, oh, check this out, you know?
And to relive and capture that memory forever.
100%.
You know, you
always
can look
have
back and see it forever. And you might also pick up something, a tip or something, or a deer movement, or the reaction to a grunt or a call that you're like, ooh, wait, I picked something up right there.
Yeah.
You know,
and
just
then,
a learning tool.
Yeah. And then my son drawing Kansas for the first year, last year, never shot a buck, shot a doe with a bow, but never shot a buck. Bring him down to Kansas. Second time we sat, first deer that came in was a nice 8-boner. He shoots it with a 6.5 Creedmoor, goes 40 yards and piles up. And I videotaped the whole thing. So it's super short, super compact, but being able to replay that, like having him track the deer, there's blood instantly, which was crazy for that 6.5, but blood instantly, he's tracking, and I could see the deer already dead, like 20 yards in front of us, and he's tracking, looking, oh, there's blood. He's all excited, you know, and I'm filming him, and it is the most beautiful thing in the morning, because it was a morning hunt. He's walking, and he picks his head up, and he sees that deer, and he turns around, and his face just lights up. Oh my gosh, like, dude, I'm tearing up just thinking about it right now.
Yeah,
like
to have that
on film and be able to relive that, and when he gets older, like, he can go back and look at that and show his kids, like, this is my first buck I ever shot with my dad.
With my dad, yeah.
That's so cool. So that's one good thing about filming. Yeah. So don't stress about it, like trying to be a famous or trying to get every little detail. Just do it for fun. Yep. If you don't get it, you don't get it. But just fuck it.
Right.
You know, wing it.
That's a good spot to end right there.
I think so. I gotta get out of here. It's fucking 9:00 and I got like an hour and a half drive home.
Yeah. All right. I just want to thank you for coming up, making the trek. I had a blast tonight.
No, I appreciate you guys having me on. That's really awesome. I'm sorry I couldn't make it sooner, but you know.
No, you made it so far, so that's pretty soon. So no, we can't thank you enough to tell your story and to have an awesome season like that. And we just hopefully everybody enjoyed it. And I just want to say thanks. That's pretty much all I got.
Yeah, thank you very much, man.
Yeah,
appreciate you guys.
Absolute pleasure to meet. You know, this is your and I first time meeting. Yeah, so that's awesome.
Hopefully we can do it again.
Yeah, for
sometime.
Sure. After another successful 2020.
One of you guys.
Yeah, I hope so.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, we'll see. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
And that's it.
Peace.
Thank you.